them are virtual, of course, but it's been so awesome. My name is Paulie Hype. I am your host here on the day, and we have some amazing collegiate action set up for all of you to watch from right in the comfort of your own homes. So today we have Valorant, Rocket League, Overwatch, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, four of the biggest and best games in esports, and personally, four of my favorites. So we have some amazing schools as well here to showcase for you in our Southwest Invitational, of course. So these teams are going to be competing on the day, and there's some exciting stuff planned for that. So without further ado, let's take a look at the teams that will be competing today.
Is Caleb Hinson, and I am the tank at SFA. We are located in Texas and have been a club for about 2.5 years. We are excited to be competing in Overwatch for the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup in the Southwest region. This past semester has been pretty good. We brought on a majority of more new people than old people returning, and so it's been a pretty good learning experience. It's been competitive, but it's been fun. Well, I know we have this one DPS player, his name is Ryan, who we have recruited this season, and he's a bit harsh when it comes to some stuff he talks about, but overall I think he was a good addition to the team, and he brings an element of realness to the team that is kind of needed in this new competitive environment that we're trying to go through. We have this small little side room in our campus's student center. It only has about 12 stations at it, and it's not very roomy, but it gets the job done, and it's better than playing at home, and it allows a lot of players on the Overwatch team especially to actually play on PC, because some of them are unable to play from home or don't have stable internet connections in the house. It means a lot because it's a pretty new, we were recently signed to NA, so it's a pretty new esports program. I'm glad that I am able to represent it in the way I can, and I really hope that this can help put esports on the map, not only at our college, but at other colleges in Texas, to help people realize that it's more than just simple games or games they see go mainstream. It's something that can actually go mainstream and be on the verge of other sports. Specifically this weekend, we're looking forward to go against UT Arlington. They're another school in Texas, and we're looking to try to make SFA known as one of the top esports teams in Texas if we can, and so we're just looking to put our names on the map if it's possible.
All right, so we just heard, that was actually the interview that we had first. That was with Stefan F. Austin, and that was an amazing interview. He's from the Overwatch team at Austin Overwatch team. But without further ado, let's update everybody on what the brackets are going to look like for our Overwatch competition to start off the day. Let's take a look at those brackets now. Okay. Kansas Wesleyan, they also have received a bye and will be moving on. Number 3, we have Rebel Gaming, UNLV. Number 4 seed, we have Texas A&M, San Antonio, prestigious school there. Really top colleges here, ladies and gentlemen. Really excited for this Overwatch action. At number 5, we have the University of North Texas. And number 6 was Stephen F. Austin, who we just heard the interview with their coach. One of the players, from their team. We just heard that in that past interview. So those are the 6 teams that are going to be rounding out the Overwatch action on the day. And let's take a look now at the Valorant teams, name each school. So let's take a look at those. Let's pull up that bracket and see how these Valorant teams are going to shape out on the day. Really exciting game here. Loving some Valorant action, of course. Let's get it over there and take a look at the Valorant action. Oh, okay. So sorry. Sorry about that. Getting word from production here. Okay, so the teams for Valorant Trying to pull up this thing here. We have Colorado State, University of Arkansas. We have Arizona State. We have Houston. We have Colorado State, University of Oklahoma, University of New Mexico, Texas State, Grand Canyon, and those will be the 8 different schools that will round out our Valorant team, our Valorant bracket here for the day. And without further ado, let's throw it over to a Valorant interview and hear some words from Arizona State University Valorant team. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Corinne. I'm the Valorant manager at Arizona State University. We are located in Arizona. We've been a club for around 10 years. We're excited to be competing in Valorant for the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup Southwest Regional. Competition has looked like a lot of ups and downs. It's kind of like a hill, in a sense, a rolling hill. We're facing a lot of challenges, but we're also overcoming those challenges every day. And our competition is going to be the same way. They're going to bring us some challenges, and we're going to have to either overcome them or we're going to have to take some falls every once in a while. So we actually did recently pick up a new player, Garrett the Kite. I was actually really excited to bring him on. We did a thing where we asked for interest of people that wanted to play in the club. We obviously had you had to be diamond or higher, and he just happened to be Immortal 3. And I remember I was looking through and I was like, I kind of want to give this guy a shot. I mean, I'm not an expert at the game, but when I see someone high rank, I'm like, they have to be, they're bringing something to the table. Super excited to bring him on. He was very responsive when I first talked to him, and very reciprocated the energy that we needed as a team. And he's really bringing a new light to the team, which I'm super excited for. The comms were kind of quiet the past year, and now I'm seeing it being lifted up because Garrett's here and he's always talking, always giving good communication to his teammates, and he's always there for them, and he just knows what to say at the right time. And it's a really good vibe that he's bringing to the team. So the club does host monthly LANs, which we are very grateful for. We basically all get together and we do activity and stuff. One time we did a League of Legends tournament, and they were randomized teams, and everyone was able to play in. We've done an Overcooked tournament. We're also doing, I think in a couple weeks, we're doing a Pokemon tournament, but it's all going to be online just because it's easier to do it online now because of COVID and stuff. But that's one way that we keep together as a community. And we're also very active in our Discord. We have around, I want to say 1,200 members in the Discord, and I want to say at least 800 are active within the day, constantly. And this includes staff, and this also just includes people from all the teams, and also just regular community people who just want to be there just because they like video games. And we just always connect, and we're always talking, and I've built a good group of friends just from the Discord alone. I want to say some of my good friends are from this Discord. Our biggest rival is GCU. I am super excited to play them. I know the coach, and I know a couple of players on the team, and a lot of the guys on ASU Maroon also know a lot of the players on the team as well. And it's just it's a good rivalry that we have every year. It's all our teams, we all end up facing each other because we're all in the same region, and usually we join the same leagues, and we're always put in the at least for example for Valorant West, we're always there. I think we're super excited to play GCU just because we also know they picked up 2 brand new players, and we know they're good, so we're ready for a challenge.
Oh, amazing. And that was Arizona State University Valorant team. Great interview there. As we go through the different games, let's check out game number 3, which is going to be Rocket League. Let's take a look at the competitors in our Southwest Invitational for some Rocket League. As we take a look here, we have number 1 going to be Grand Canyon. Number 2, UT Arlington. Number 3, we have Arizona State. Number 4, we have Utah State. At number 5 seed, we have Esports of Houston. At the number 6 seed, we have Stephen F. Austin. At the 7th seed, it's Abilene Christian. And number 8 seed, we have Missouri Baptiste. That's going to be your 8 different schools, colleges that round out the Rocket League competition. And without further ado, let's take a look at the Rocket League interview with the Stephen F. Austin Rocket League team. Let's hear from them now.
My name is Jacob Lee, and I am the coach and also player at Stephen F. Austin State University. We are located in Nacogdoches, Texas, and have been a program for about 2 years now. We're excited to be competing in the Rocket League for the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Competition for us this past semester has it's been fun. We've had a lot of fun. Me and my teammates, we've been in the lab a lot, and we have been trying really hard to be connected and not, because usually we play from home, And since COVID's been lax a lot more recently, we've been able to be in the lab a lot more and been able to have like a little more coalition and be able to like fist bump and, have like good morale. Because morale is a really big thing in Rocket League. If you don't have good morale, it can really put your team down. So I think competition's been very fun. Even though like we've had some losses, we've had some pretty tough losses. Like it's been fun. So for our varsity team, we have me, which is my current rank in Rocket League is SSL, which is the top rank. Then we have Banji, who is around GC2, GC3, and then we have Blast, who's about GC1, and then Pippin, who's GC1. We all I'm the one who really started the Rocket League team at my school, because before we didn't have a esports organization, and I kind of just got the guys together, and then the club ended up founding, and we all got together. It's like, hey, why don't we start competing? So that's how it all originated. Really, it was really because of me. And I mean, I don't mean to take like all the fame for that, but I just kind of like found people, and it was kind of cool because coming into such a small school, because Stephen F. Austin is very big, I didn't really expect to find Rocket League people there, but finding people that played, it really made me feel like I wasn't alone, because I kind of felt like I was. So ironically, we used to be a part of Southwest Conference, Southland Conference, Southland Conference, before we joined the Western Athletic Conference back in 2020, I think. And there was a tournament held by Mainline that was the Southland Conference Championship for Rocket League and for other esports. And it was between us and Abilene Christian, because there wasn't many other schools that really had Rocket League teams in the Southland Conference. And we were competing for $1,000. This was pretty important for both of the schools, because I mean, I know that Abilene Christian is very known for many things. Neither is SFA. So it was really important for both me, and I know it was important for them as well. We ended up meeting in the finals because we were ironically on opposite sides of the bracket. And it went to game 5. We had to reverse sweep them, which was crazy. Like, that was an exciting experience for us. But it's always been a running joke, because I'm pretty good friends with one of their players, and it's a running joke that like they can never beat us, because we always end up reverse sweeping them. They always end up winning the first 2 games, or the first game, and then we end up sweeping whatever best of series it is. So it's always fun playing.
Well, thank you so much. That was Jacob from Stephen F. Austin. That was a great interview. A little bit of rivalry there. I love these interview segments. They really just show a next layer of the players and schools themselves, and hopefully more of those to move forward. But now let's take a look at our 4th and final game, Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. These will be the 8 teams that will be competing in SSBU. As they come up on the screen here, we have number 1, University Texas Austin. We have number 2, UT Arlington. Number 3 is Arizona State. Number 4, we have Colorado. Number 5, we have Nevada. Number 6, we have Concordia. Number 7 is Dixie State in the 7th seed. And in the 8th seed, we have Abilene Christian. So without further ado, let's hear from the SSB interview with Colorado State University. Take it away.
All right. So, can you give me a brief introduction of yourself, your school, and your program?
My name is Brendan, and I am the Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Coordinator at CSU. We are located in Colorado, and we have been club for about a year now, specifically the Smash team. We're excited to be competing in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Collegiate Esports National Championship in the Southwest Regional. Last semester, we finally got the local backup, which is essentially an open tournament where anybody can come and, enter a traditional bracket and play for money. And the esports team specifically has been getting, we've been meeting alongside that to try to help each of our players go through their bracket runs each week, break it down, see what they did wrong, improve a lot. And, not to brag a little bit, but I think that people specifically on the esports team have improved more than, people who haven't been. Yeah. So, essentially what these open brackets is that you can get anybody to sign up. And as I mentioned earlier, we get about 30 to 50 people a week. And these are people from all over Fort Collins, not just CSU. And that's important because we get, some of the best skill around to train and practice with. And so, essentially, in a double elimination bracket, you play one-on-one, and you get 2 losses before you're out of the bracket. And you just if you win, you keep going until the winner's decided, and at the end of the day, there's only one winner. And I think that's super beneficial for the team because it helps you practice your mindset and like break it down to essentially the single match in the set of what could go wrong, and you can like focus on individual things from there and improve like that. Ooh, I would say this past semester, which was the fall semester, I think the most interesting thing is about Yeeks. Yeeks is a freshman who just started this year, and he's already one of our top players. Insanely good wolf, knows incredibly well. Insane combo tree and insane, just like plethora of characters he can play. And the thing about Yeeks too is you will not find anybody taller than that man. He is a giant, and he is still a freshman. It's kind of insane. So he'll beat you in bracket, and then he'll look down on you as you're walking away. Well, last semester we hosted them in this big biology room on campus, which was super nice because they had tables for everything. You could kind of like go and sit in the middle while you're kind of waiting for your match, and then I would call you up to the front, and then I would tell you where to go, and you go and play your match kind of on the sides. And people would like line up on the sides of the room and watch the matches, kind of walk around as you see that, which is super nice. And then this semester we're in a different room, which like isn't quite as big and isn't quite as nice. But the big thing with that room is that there's a projector, and so normally every week we have a stream setup, which is where everything is streamed. You know, you can watch your matches from stream later. But this semester we have it so that the stream setup is hooked up to a projector, so everybody in the room can watch the projector, and then that just creates so incredibly hype matches where something happens and the entire room pops off at once, and you can see the players playing on stream freaking out, and it gets so intense, and it's one of my favorite things about it. My role in the club is I kind of arrange. I first of all, I organize the tournaments, help run them, call the bracket matches, and then for the esports team specifically, I facilitate practices and decide the tryouts and kind of do all the coordination for all the leagues and things like that. Smash is grassroots, meaning that there isn't really an organization sponsoring it or like funding everything. Everything that like Smash has done has come from within Smash. All the tournaments are created by people who play the game. All the pots for the tournaments, all the facilities, everything is run by somebody who just does it because they love Smash. And I think that creates kind of like an incredibly unique experience because there's so much passion behind it. And I think that passion is kind of self-propagating, and the fact that it's been going on for so many years and it's going to keep on going. And I think that's my favorite thing about Smash. That's a good question. Smash is obviously one-on-one, 3-stock, that kind of format. And how that has been developed for a team-based kind of competition is something called a crew battle. And essentially, a crew battle is where each team has a set amount of players, and each of those players has a set amount of stocks. And essentially, the two teams fight each other in the traditional 1v1, except you lose stocks, and when a team loses all of their stocks, they lose. But what makes a crew battle different is that you can kind of counterpick players and stocks. So, like, if you have a player that is going to, like, destroy another player, you can kind of choose to send them in against that, or, like, choose to send them in to take this one stock, and hopefully you don't lose your stock. And then, there comes in a whole other meta that develops around that. And I think that's, like, an incredibly hype format that is kind of underutilized in, the traditional Smash scene, actually. Oh, yeah, I'm super excited to be Keaton. This is going to be one of the biggest things of our season as a team. I know everybody on the team's looking forward to it. And honestly, I think that's because we have a shot at taking it. We've been putting in a ton of work last semester. The teams have been getting great results. Haven't heard much about the other teams. So I think we have a very solid shot of taking it.
Was SSBU interview with Colorado State University. So that was fantastic stuff. And I am so excited to watch all the games today, all these amazing schools and universities. I just want to say thank you to all of you for competing in today's CECC Commissioner's Cup Southwest Invitational. And let's just take a moment because normally, they have a moment of silence. But when Paulie Hype's on the desk and the host, we got to have a moment of hype. So let's get a little moment of hype going. Let's get the energy flowing, the juices moving, because we're about to kick off day one of the Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup. So without further ado, if you're watching on Esports U, it's going to be Overwatch, and you'll be joined by casters Septilence and Dan Dryad. If you're watching over on Esports U2, it's going to be Valorant, and you will be taken care of by the handsome pair of Sparky Gamer Dog and Chad Lantis. So without further ado, take it away, guys. Good luck to everyone and all the participants, and I'll see you on the other side.
Hello and welcome, Rocket League fans. We are here and we are live. A little hot and spicy Collegiate Rocket League coming at you. I'm FBI Tugboat. I'm joined today with Nerdy Bird, coming to us out of the Boise State Esports Arena. Is that correct?
Yes, it is. I mean, close enough. We'll go with that for now.
Boise State Esports Arena, did I say that right?
Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena, but we can
Game Pants Esports Arena.
we
Game
can
Pants
leave out
Esports Arena.
that Game Pants part. It doesn't sound as cool. Sorry, Game Pants.
No, Game Pants sounds awesome. Game Pants sounds awesome. I just had the mind reel is thinking about what it would entail, right? You know, the whole recent trend is the gaming chair, right? It is not somebody's aim, it's not somebody's reflex, it's not the hardware in their PC, it's the gaming chair with which they plop down to play. Wonder if Game Pants has the same effect.
Possibly it's the next trend up and they were just thinking ahead.
There you go. There you go. Serious leaders within their various fields. Speaking of leaders in their various field, welcome to the Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup. We have the Rocket League starting now. Grand Canyon University taking on Missouri Baptist here, Nerdy Bird.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what both these teams bring to the table. I mean, Grand Canyon University actually did get a Geico Cup championship last year around this same time. So let's see if they can bring that momentum into this tournament, or if we might see an upset coming out from Missouri Baptist onto Grand Canyon.
Absolutely, absolutely. Geico, right? The car insurance, keeping it so thematical here. I love it. I love the true adherence to the theme here, Nerdy Bird. Best of fives here, which means this first game will be much less of like a burn it if you got it. Just kind of play around to see what your opponents are made out of. As it is, coming into this one, Grand Canyon University in the left. That's Kaimana, Blind Bandit, and Syndril. Would you go through Missouri Baptist for me?
For Missouri Baptist, we have Tundo, Stoli, and Blue Phoenix coming in, and this is just a squad with no subs, so they have to give it their all 100% of the time here. Hopefully they don't get burned out too soon.
Absolutely, and a fantastic backboard double pass, double touch right there for Tendo. Some fantastic stuff. Look at that, 97 kilometers per hour. That'll clock the fastest because it is the first Rocket League goal on stream, of course. But a serious contender, not quite triple digits right there, but still some fantastic play. And early here, Nerdy Bird.
We'll see if someone else can top that 97 miles per hour. As that 50-50 went more in favor of Missouri Baptist. Here in the corner, Stoli has possession. Fortunately, they will lose it out to Kaimana.
Top play on out. Kaimana trying to get on over here, but it's going to be Blue Bandit covering it up defensively for right now. Syndril on the run out right now. Gets past one. Tiny bits of boost to get there, but that's going to be enough until Stoli just burns everything boost-wise to get down to this one. Kaimana trying for the reset up top. Not going to happen now. Tendo, that's definitely on point. Blue Bandit trying to get there, and that's going to be Tendo with the touch on the end, I believe. This was, of course, bouncing all the way in. No, so Tendo comes over here. That's Stoli who comes up and plays against Defender, right? Because that, I don't think Blind Bandit would have been able to get there regardless. Who knows, though? Who knows?
I think that was an unfortunate slight overcommit there from Grand Canyon. Hopefully that's rectified soon so another goal doesn't happen that easily.
Yeah, early defense is going to be the name of the game. Grand Canyon already making a couple mistakes right here. The triple commit on offense really did yield that second goal right there. The first one was a little bit more earned, we'll call it. Tendo on out to the right side. This is now Missouri Baptist is on defense for the first real time in this matchup.
Ball is going to cross that midfield stripe, but the Blind Bandit has rotated back and calculated that perfectly. Plays it to Syndril. It's going to go into the corner. Blue Phoenix was there for the challenge, but it got popped a little bit too high. And a shot on goal from Syndril will find the first goal for Grand Canyon.
Syndril sending this one on in, 73 kilometers per hour after a fantastic backboard pass. Tell me if you sense a theme here, Nerdy Bird. This has been your Missouri, or both of these teams, excuse me, so far, really playing so well off of the backboard, passes and otherwise into points.
It seems like that backboard's really being used as a centering opportunity, always being prepared for that rebound shot and anticipating needing to be set up for that position. But Tendo, that was beautiful, and getting our first hat trick not even halfway through this first round.
Yeah, some fantastic stuff. We'll take it to the stats on that one. Tendo, yes, 3 shots attempted, 3 goals in. One save. Blue Phoenix coming out with the assist on here. Not optimal pings, but pretty much everybody about the same right here. Pretty much everybody about the same. 3 minutes, 14 seconds. That's pie time up top. That's Grand Canyon at a 3-1 deficit as of right now. A nice run right now. Another pass, and that's going to be Kaimana once again. Jeez, not even 2 minutes. Not even 120 seconds here, Nerdy Bird. And we already have 5 total scores and a score difference of 1.
That is a sign of some good Rocket League. However, if this trend keeps up, we could see those scores dramatically increase. 3 minutes and 7 seconds is plenty of time for this to go either way. Right now, only up by 1. Definitely Missouri Baptist looking for that security goal just to maintain their lead.
Yeah, no real lead indeed when the score difference is only 1. 2 minutes. 50 seconds left, and yeah, this isn't even past halftime yet. I guess I'm getting ahead of myself, right? Because this is, again, a decently high-scoring game already, and whatever has happened in this first half can go back and unhappen. Unhappen? The opposite can happen in the second half. We'll go with that.
It can. We had Tendo make a great clear, but Blind Bandit making up for that first accidental overcommit and goal score. Waited at the mid, sent it right back. However, now it is on the side of Grand Canyon U. Central is trying to pass it to the Blind Bandit. Blind Bandit in the corner has 2 on them. Will they be able to play it around both? They will not, as Blue Phoenix gets in there and steals that ball away.
Say one of the first clear mistakes here on stream, Nerdy Bird. Grand Canyon, that was a fantastic pass across the middle, and then literally nobody within there. Just an empty town except for these Missouri Baptist players who just waited to snap this one up. What was a perfect pass turns into nothing, nada, zilch, 0 on the other side, and especially when Grand Canyon really could use that tying goal.
Here's our common theme of the centering off the backboard from the Blind Bandit to Centrals, bring us to tied 3 aside with just under 2 minutes left on the clock.
Taking to the numbers again here. GCU, that's Grand Canyon University, a little bit more of a split offense here. Central with 2, Kaimana with 1. No saves there. Only 1 save on the other side with 6 total goals. Once again, tells me the defense is here being forlorn mostly for that hardcore offense.
That's something that does need to be rectified because you can't just let the other team continue to score. Even if you do,
Yeah.
Eventually that's going to bite you in the heel, especially if this takes us into overtime. You have to have a strong defense, but no one wants to be in that position as Central goes in for the shot that'll be saved by Stoli. Now with the ball in the corner being popped high, we have Blind Bandit elevating and does the 50-50 goes in favor of Stoli, taking that ball across the midfield.
Central once again taking this one after shanked from his teammate. Back on down, Kaimana, perfect aerial play right here to keep this ball alive over here. Grand Canyon seems like they have learned their lesson. Oh no! I was gonna say it seems like they've learned their lesson with playing a single defender back, but it was all for naught. Central just goes whiffing right past that. Still, he did get the hit, but should have gotten a little bit closer on this to be able to knock this one out. Regardless, though, Missouri Baptist and the offensive assisting opportunities here at Nerdy Bird just been some fantastic stuff and led to multiple goals so far.
Hopefully that's something that'll be rectified from Grand Canyon to not let that happen in the next game, or possibly fix it now if they want to see a victory here. Unfortunately, though, the possession is drastically in favor of Missouri Baptist consistently. Kaimana is trying to corral this ball here in the corner, and Stoli will jump over them with a little help from Tendo. It's going to be centered up in front of the goal, but Blind Bandit saves it with a little help from Central.
Yeah, Grand Canyon once again with a weaker clear right here. Blind Bandit shot, and Stoli can't get there. That's going to be another one for the ages. First goal period, excuse me, from Missouri Baptist University that didn't come from Tendo. That was Stoli there. Assist coming in from Central.
Got 44 seconds left on the clock, tied 4 aside. This is anybody's game, basically 0-0, but Central wins that kickoff with no contest from anybody else. Kaimana in the corners helping them out, but Blue Phoenix gets in that passing lane, allowing Stoli to come in, take it off the wall, but will lose out their dribble because of that ceiling. And unfortunately for them, it's going to be pushed too far forward, but Blind Bandit cannot reach it in time.
I think that might have been like a half fake. I'm not really sure. It was just simply a back flip instead of a front flip. Not 100% sure. What I do know is that, at least for the time being there for a few seconds, Grand Canyon University was looking offensive as offensive gets. Now 12 seconds away from reaching a formal overtime situation for their first one on stream. Blind Bandit coming in with the demo right here. That's one of the first ones of this one. Is that the first demo of this game?
That is the first demolition we've seen thus far, and I'm definitely used to seeing a bit more. We're at that 0 mark, though, so if this ball hits the ground, we go into overtime, and now it's golden goal.
Yeah, that's just that's smart plays right here from Blind Bandit. Obviously read that this offense was there all day against their team. Grounding this one out sends it back to a true neutral 50-50 situation. Nice run right here from Syndril. Another couple demos here. Burned everything boost-wise to get to that player. Now off the top came Mana on top of this one.
We do have the clear where Blind Bandit will elevate, sending it right back towards the goal. Unfortunately, though, for them, Blue Phoenix got in that way. Central volleying it right back across. Tendo going for the aerial compete there will help Stoli get possession for a few moments. Blue Phoenix plays it around 2, has 1 on them, and they're getting physical, allowing Stoli to come in and find that golden goal.
Whoever said there's nothing wrong with a little bump and grind never watched this game, or at least watched this game as a Grand Canyon University fan. Stoli and teammate, I believe that was Tendo, getting very, very physical in overtime here for the first Rocket League game here on broadcast. A lot more Rocket League to be had, but this one has to be culminated first, of course. This is the best of 3s, which means, of course, here at Nerdy Bird, Grand Canyon University is on match point.
That can be a very stressful situation, even if it is just the first game of the evening. Let's hope that Grand Canyon University can bring this one back in their favor, and we can always see a game 3, because that is a sign of some good Rocket League and possibly a reverse sweep in the making. But if the trend continues, we're going to probably see more high-scoring games and possibly more overtime in the next game.
I'm not against high-scoring games here, Nerdy Bird, but I really, really do want to see some more formal overtime situations, especially something like this, right? You see Missouri Baptist go up, I guess their biggest real score difference was 2 at 3-1, but that's, at that point it was looking a little bit lost. Grand Canyon University coming back in the last, 20 seconds or so. Some fantastic stuff. Also, I guess we should mention this. I do believe we saw a bracket up top, so you guys probably know this, but this is double elimination. This is not single elimination, so even if this Grand Canyon University squad does fall right here, their tournament lives will not be over yet.
They can go through our redemption arc bracket and always have a second shot at the championship match. Kaimana, though, trying to go in and get that first goal for their side. Unfortunately, it will be saved, and Blue Phoenix will help out. It's still in possession of Grand Canyon, though.
And Bandit taking that possession. Nice pop play over.
No!
Gets here, and defender can't do diddly squat. Flying through the air, flipping and reaching, trying to get a hand onto this one. They come on and just barely puts that where they can't get to it. What was on the other side? I think that was Blue Phoenix on the other side. Solid defensive attempt, but nothing for it.
Even if they had managed to get that one, it would have been a double commit from both the defenders, and the rebound shot would have been almost impossible to stop. So either way, that would have gone in.
100%. 100%. Real damned if you do, damned if you don't type situation. That's me, Grand Canyon University, now striking first. Again, best of 3s. This is exactly what they need right now. This is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Tendo now looking to close that score gap of 1, bringing the ball into the corner, centering it up for Blue Phoenix. Blue Phoenix will drop it down, but unfortunately for them, Kaimana was waiting on the ground, sending it to the side, playing it to themselves, and a shot straight to the goal where the overcommit happened again, but from the other side. Allowing goal number 2 to go in for GCU.
There you go. 3 shots, 1 save, 2 goals doubled up for Kaimana. Players playing out of their lives right now. Syndril just kind of waiting to get a little bit more involved. Blind Bandit with the assist on one of those 2 goals so far. But again, lead of 1, no real lead indeed in Rocket League, Nerdy Bird. Lead of 2, starting to look dangerous if you're a Missouri Baptist University fan.
Missouri Baptist, though, needs to start turning up their defense as well, because both these teams seem to be lacking on those defensive back post rotations and leaving their goals wide open for overcommit situations. We've got Central, though, going for that center up off the backboard. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough of a rebound, though, for a shot to go in, but the shot there was saved by Kaimana.
Yeah, who else but Kaimana? Players getting it done on offense, players getting it done on defense. Only 2 scores so far on boards have been from Kaimana, and that is such a lucky play. Doesn't matter in the end. You were talking about it early here, Nerdy. If this is such an amazing shot, even if defender does manage to get a hand on it, the side post kind of coming out for 4th player situations there for Missouri Baptist. Doesn't matter on the rebound. 49 kilometers an hour on that one as GCU punches their ticket to a 3-0 advantage right now. Not a win yet.
Still have more than half of the second game in the time bank left to go, though, so that 3-goal lead could turn into a 1 or even a tied game here very quickly, depending on how solid GCU's defense is, as we have a shot on goal, and the crossbar is nobody's friend. Classic soccer rules. Ball is to cross that line 100%, so I'm sorry, that goal is not for you.
Oh, Central said, I'll take some, though. Third shot on, second goal made in for Central here, 4-0, and we ain't even at halftime yet. 30 seconds away from it, in fact. Fantastic stuff. This is exactly what Grand Canyon University needed yet again.
Going into this next kickoff, let's see who will get the better touch on it. Tendo seems to have gotten it, but unfortunately no follow-up from their team will make them lose out on that possession. Blind Bandit goes in to center the ball up off to the back of the wall. Unfortunately, though, they will lose out their dribble. Now we have Blue Phoenix with possession, pushing the ball too far forward off their first touch, and Stoli, though, coming in to help them out.
At a certain point, you know, with how many offensive opportunities blocked out here from Grand Canyon University, I gotta wonder if the nerves are now getting the Missouri Baptist University squad. They were much more used to being in a lead in the last game. Comeback Central has been Grand Canyon University's game plan so far, and now an absolute run for the ages. And this offensive pressure doesn't look like it's abating quite yet.
We do see our first demolition of this round finally come out from Kaimana onto Blue Phoenix, opening the field for just a little bit. Blue Phoenix elevates, unfortunately can't touch that ball in time. Kaimana can grab it off the wall, but Tendo will beat them to it, sending it to the corner.
Paul has spent a lot of time in these corners so far, but once again, it's just Grand Canyon University that's able to cover these up a lot better and get these out. As I say that, Missouri Baptist down low, and nobody is there. So the problem that Grand Canyon University had in game one kind of shows up on the other side of the pitch.
GCU is also focusing a lot right now on making sure their spacing is a little bit further apart than it was in that first round. As you can see here, we've got two defenders in that goal, all three actually, and when all are bunched up, you can't really go anywhere, and Central will find their hat trick.
Yeah, you ever tried to cook with somebody else in the same kitchen?
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. 5-0 right now, lead for Grand Canyon University. Gotta be nerves at this point, right? A triple up on defense like that just doesn't happen. You know, three people don't coordinate like that unless they're all kind of thinking the same thing.
That comes down to just having faith in your teammates to know what they need to do and trusting in each other's rotations. And you can't let that trust break down at a moment like this. It's very important as we see Blind Bandit get taken out by Blue Phoenix. So that could be an opportunity for a goal to happen as Central sends it into the goal a little too slow as Stoli's able to save it.
Some nice defensive plays, but once again, Missouri Baptist University players playing a little bit lower right there. Now that's a good flick back out. A good rebound. Kaimana and the rest of this Grand Canyon University squad was just waiting for it. All momentum the Missouri Baptist might have had coming out of an overtime situation win in game one is now gone.
Kaimana trying to corral this ball away from Blue Phoenix in the corner. Tendo will come in to help out, but Kaimana takes out Tendo, saying, give me that ball back. Ball is popped high into this corner. Two defenders are currently in front of that goal. Blind Bandit, though, says it doesn't matter, finding goal number 6 for GCU.
Yeah, well, once again, defensive here just kind of fails to be able to bring this one out. Stoli gets 2 and then a third attempted hit on that. Tendo gets nothing but a front row seat to the 6th goal now for GCU. I'm not going to call it quite yet. There's physically enough time in this game to come back Nerdy Bird. It would just have to require an absolutely Herculean effort.
Right now, we're looking at roughly, 5 seconds per goal. It's doable.
Yeah.
Not entirely impossible, but extremely difficult with the trends that we've seen thus far. Hitting that 27-second mark now, I am going to place my bets in saying that GCU is going to walk away with a Game 2 win, and we're going to see a Game 3 as the shot on goal from Tendo gets turned away by Central.
Oh, yes. We got an actual overtime situation in Game 1. Anything but that in Game number 2. I would like to see at least one on the board here for Missouri Baptist last 10 seconds or so. Yes, they've lost this game number 2, but a goose egg never feels good.
Yeah, that morality boosting goal can mean a lot. Hopefully, though, the in-between matches, they'll take the opportunity to reset themselves and reset those comms. However, they're trying to keep this ball alive. It's still in the air, and finally, it hits the ground. GCU walking away with the Game 2 win.
The score totals here, dear viewer, are 10 for Grand Canyon University, but they only have the 1 win in game number 2 now here. On the other side, Missouri Baptist putting up 5 across 2 games, still taking the dub from game 1, but doing it with much less offensive prowess. Yeah, 1 shot from Stoli across the whole game. We're looking at a 6 attempt situation for Missouri Baptist and like 11 or something like that on the other side. I think those numbers just kind of tell the tale that we need to see there.
Well, we did see GCU underperform in comparison to what we just saw from them in the second game. Perhaps we'll see that same story play out, but in favor of Missouri Baptist on this one. But the 50-50 goes in favor of GCU as Kaimana grabs it with a little help from Central. Shot on goal, centered up, story happening again, but it will be grabbed in mid-flight. Now, with Blue Phoenix being taken out, though, it looks like GCU might maintain possession for a little bit longer.
Woo-hoo!
Stoley!
We'll call that caster's curse. I do just kind of pause on that one. It was a fantastic angle. Stoley has really shown what they can do offensively, even though it didn't necessarily show up in game number 2. Now, that's Missouri Baptist. Missouri Baptist goes on to win this. This will mean, of course, that whoever ended up scoring first would go forth and take the match.
Good blind bandit sending that ball to the corner, but none of their teammates were there, forcing them to push up with a little help from Kaimana. But Stoley gets in that passing lane, trying to steal it away. One thing that I'm noticing, though, is that Stoley is definitely a playmaker. So if Missouri Baptist is looking to win this, they need to facilitate Stoley with a little help from Tendo. But that backboard center pass will not work out because it would have been an overcommit situation. So Central with the ball here now in the corner, Stoley going in for the chow. We do see Blue Phoenix take out the blind bandit as well.
Nice. I really like seeing retaliation like that, Nerdy. This has been Grand Canyon University that's honestly, kind of bullied them so far. And unfortunately, the defense there for Missouri Baptist doesn't show up when the time is right. That is about as close as it gets. Stoley has been doing fantastic stuff, offense and defensive-wise. That's a little bit uncharacteristic, I'll call it.
Kickoff goes in favor of Kaimana with some follow-up from Blind Bandit. It will be sent into the corner on the side of GCU, though. We do see a couple people pile up in that goal, trying to just bully the goalkeeper out of the way, but the goal-scoring opportunity has gone with the ball clearing that midfield stripe.
Back down to the middle. That was a good job by Missouri to come forth and realize this offensive opportunity as it was developing right there. Kaimana now back on out to this right side. Now big pop plays here. Throw an epic on top of that save for Blind Bandit. Members of Missouri now getting onto the defense for the, not the first time, but one of the first times here. Tied up score, 1-1 up top though.
It's definitely a different story than we saw in the first two games, but Central finding goal number 2 for GCU. At this point in game number 2, we had quite a few more goals on the board, and this is similar to game 1. I feel like this is definitely evenly matched, almost like both teams were analyzing each other.
Yeah, guarantee these teams are definitely giving that analysis and paying attention to one another, but that was our first own goal, at least on stream. Tendo just lets this ball sail, doesn't cut across this middle and try and go for a big rebound to pass to a teammate. That ball sails on. We still are watching this game at 1-1. If that comes down to the very end of being the score difference here, you're going to be looking at Tendo players really going to be kicking themselves later.
But it is Rocket League. We got to remember, Tendo, hopefully you will hear this in recording Sunday and know that it happens. It's okay. Just keep going and score another goal so you can say, I made up for it.
Yeah, exactly. There's still plenty of time left. The worst thing you could do is listen to me, honestly. The worst thing you could do is listen to me.
Our job is to up the pressure, honestly. Not on ourselves, but really it's on you guys. As we see Blind Bandits take out Stoley, the powerhouse for MBU there, going down for a couple of seconds. But the push here coming out has not been stopped. Finally, do see it clear, but Kaimana can't elevate high enough to grab it.
That was so close. That would have been a perfect angle on that outside area right there to shank in the third for Grand Canyon, but still plenty of time left and still anybody's go back and forth. Blind Bandit comes up and just gets met there. No real progress onto this ball. Still in the offensive third, Grand Canyon University is, though.
See another demo come out onto Stoley from Central, opening up the field for a few moments, but Blue Phoenix plays it over one, but can't play it around Central. There's still a volley return from Tendo at the goal, but the centered up shot was turned away by Kaimana.
Rotation there from Central, from offensive pressure into defensive after spending some time in the mid and kind of deciding where it is that he needs to go to. Tendo, on this left side, pop play out, trying to meet it down bottom. This is just going to be some more off the backfield. Stoley getting there. And this is offensive third. They just need to coordinate on it a little bit better. I've loved what I've seen from Missouri Baptist in the past 30, 45 seconds or so offensive-wise. Now they just need to connect on it.
Kaimana, though, with no pressure on them in mid-flight, will lose the ball as they hit the ground. Stoley grabbing off the wall. Central, though, grabs that ball back for their teammate, dropping it down. It'll be disrupted by Tendo. Kaimana will go for the 50-50. The crossbar might be the saving grace, and it is, but there's still a rebound opportunity, and that one's turned away too.
Wow, back and forth. We were playing Rocket League for a second there. Nerdy Bird, it was all just ping pong. Fantastic offense, fantastic defense, and Tendo comes up again. Back and forth we go, and this is now Missouri Baptist looking a little bit of crunch time though. Stully, there's a redirect. Blue Phoenix dives down bottom a little bit early on that and can't quite get under and into this ball.
Right now, we've got Missouri Baptist University looking for that extra goal to tie things up, while Grand Canyon University is looking for that security goal. They're currently up by 1, 30 seconds left on the clock. Is plenty of time for either team to score, as we see Blue Phoenix's shot get turned away by the blind bandit. But finally, goal number 2 will find its way in.
Look how close this is right here. It's going to end up decently cornered right here, and Stully hits this. This is like a degree or two to the left. It gets blocked by this side post. If it's a degree or two to the right, it is much, much easier for one of these defenders to have made a play on that. Talk about a time to tie this one back up.
Got 20 seconds left on that clock. Now it could be leading us into our second overtime here for this game series, unless Central can do the magic trick there, find their hat trick, and get goal number 3 for Grand Canyon University.
It is a hat trick. Blind Bandit and Kaimana both coming up with assists of their own. That is a feat that can be boasted by Missouri Baptist on the other side as well. Both goals being assisted, one by each of the other 2 players. So everybody really showing up on this offensively. 10 seconds to go here, Nerdy.
Plenty of time for Missouri Baptist to find another goal, but they can't let that one go in. They're all bunched up here in the corner. We are at that 0 time on the clock. Ball hits the ground, and GCU will walk away with this game win. Ball is still in red zone for Missouri Baptist. They need to clear it away, but it won't matter. That ball is eventually going to hit the ground. We see Central take out Stoley, and GCU walks away with the win.
First game in overtime, third game in overtime, second game being a tying factor. I think that's a fantastic way to start out our CECC Rocket League broadcast here, Nerdy Bird.
Honestly, I couldn't have asked for a better way to start the day. Hopefully going forward, we'll just see everything just get up the ante across the board. We'll see both of these teams later on. As we mentioned, there is a second chance redemption bracket. So, of course, all of these, there's multiple opportunities, and we'll see more of these players going on.
Yeah, there's a lot to be talked about in this game. Now we're going to go ahead and go to a very short break. We'll be getting one of these members from Grand Canyon University in here for a little post-game interview action and give us a slice of that mind. Don't tune away. We'll be right back with you guys. Hello and welcome back. We are here, little post-game interview action coming at you like we promised. Nerdy Bird with FBI Tugboat, and we got Kaimana over to give us a little bit of their time after the game. Kaimana, you with us?
Yes, I am.
There you go. Nerdy Bird, take it away.
All right, Kaimana. So game 1 didn't exactly go in your favor. What was your team's strategy coming out of that first game to go into game 2?
We did not really have too much of a strategy going into the first game, which we definitely switched up to our second game, because second game, we kind of just realized if we move at a faster pace, we'll definitely be able to get the touches that we want and play our style game, which is more fast, more in the air. You also noticed I definitely went for a few more bumps in that second game.
Yeah, definitely a lot more physical and bumping. Just people, few demolitions coming out in game 1, a lot more in game 2. In all, do you feel like your guys' rotations were a bit more solid and your spacing was more solid than Missouri Baptist was?
They were pretty good all 3 games around. We just kind of figured them out second and third game a little bit better. We started to move a little bit better with the ball. They played really good though. We were definitely a little unprepared coming into this.
Well, hopefully you're a little bit more prepared for your next game coming around, as you guys have had the opportunity to warm up first before anybody else has. Tugboat, do you have any more questions for him?
Yeah, absolutely. So, Kaimana, I gotta ask, did you count the number of demolitions that your team got between those 3 games? One seemed like it was much less explosive. Games 2 and 3 really seemed like it had an effect.
I definitely wasn't counting for our team. I was definitely counting for me personally, though.
Let's hear it.
My personal number of demolitions. I don't remember exactly how many, but I just
lying in an interview, never a good look, bud.
I just go for demolition.
There you go. No, it definitely came to fruition. Really resulted in multiple here. 2 different games, game 1 and game 3, going into overtime action. But we need a little bit of content here. Of course, Missouri Baptist not eliminated from this tournament quite yet. They'll be dropped down that losers bracket. Now Missouri Baptist makes it through there, and they play y'all again. What's the result of that game here, Keimana?
I think they'll definitely be ready for what we brought at them in games 2 and 3. A little more faster pace, a little more bumps. So if they slow it down, they might be able to get us, trip us up a few times. That's what we've been struggling with recently, for sure.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Sounds good. Looking confident going in, pursuing on in through this winner's bracket. That's Keimana. Once again, congratulations on your victory here to the Grand Canyon University squad. Any shout outs you got for us before we get you on out of here?
Shout out Joe Mama in chat.
There you go. There you go. Sounds good. Sounds good. And once again, Keimana, thank you for your time. We appreciate you coming in. Maybe have you again here, but again, we only have winners in the interview box. You got to keep on taking them dubs, all right?
Hope so.
Sounds good. Sounds good. That has been your Grand Canyon University taking on Missouri Baptist. Once again, in case you're just joining us, game 1, that was an overtime W for Missouri Baptist. Game 2 went on 6-0, a shellacking that Grand Canyon University put on Missouri Baptist, and then going down to the wire in game number 3, an overtime situation that, of course, went the way of Grand Canyon University. They'll be pursuing their way on through this winner's bracket, with losers bracket being the future of Missouri Baptist. They lose another one here, Nerdy Bird. They are out of this competition.
Yes, but that redemption bracket can be the path to victory for some. It will give them a little bit more time, to also calculate and prepare for their next encounter with Grand Canyon University if they have to face them again.
A big if. A lot of Rocket League to be played before then, and at least 24 hours, because again, guys, just in case you're just joining us again, this entire tournament will be culminated tomorrow once we get on to the semifinals, grand finals, things like this. Got a lot more regular bracket Rocket League action to be played here. Give us a short break, and we'll have that up here. Unless I'm wrong, that is going to be UTA taking on your Abilene Christian College out of Texas here. We'll have that up on stream. I believe it's supposed to start at 5:30 or so. We're going to try and get it started a little bit earlier for you guys. Nerdy Bird, anything else for the good people before we go to a very short break?
Make sure you hydrate. That's all.
Water. 1 liter bottle of it right here. Back to you guys soon. And we are back. We are here and we are live. Looks like I need to get my... Bam. There you go. Hey, yeah, there we go. There we're live. That was my fault. Guys. The CECC, that's the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup, continues now. And it seems my camera is still not being agreeable with me. Oh well. Nerdy Bird, FBI Tugboat here to bring you the action. We got UTA taking on Abilene Christian University. What is... Nerd, you with me?
Yes, I am there. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, fantastic. Just having some technical difficulties on your end. It happens. Technology is not always our best friend, though it can come in handy.
That I can. I am just refreshing this right quick. Bam, bam. And then start. Now we're back. There you go. And we're not pixelated. No pixelated Tugboat. Muggly enough as is. Nerdy Bird, I don't need any help. UTA taking on Abilene Christian University, coming in here just a little bit. That's Nava, Adverse, and Samba coming in from your UTA squad. Would you introduce Abilene Christian University for me?
Yes, we've got Prime Minor Wall, Amarok, forgive me if I said that name wrong, J1 Angel, and that is going to round out that roster as well. We might see some possible roster swaps, as both these teams do have an extra player, but that's yet to be seen as we go into this first kickoff.
So it is a couple seconds into this one, and Prime Minor already taking a little bit of a demo action. We saw the effects that demos can have on last game there, Nerdy Bird. Wonder if we'll see that one again.
Sitting on that respawn screen for 3 seconds at a time can be quite a bit, especially if you end up being the one that takes the majority of those demos. That comes down to just predicting them and olaying them. Got to make sure you stay out of those lanes when someone's coming after you. Ball gets popped high off the wall. Prime Minor does get taken out by Adverse. It opens up the field. Adverse takes out another one. It's the goalkeeper, but there's no one there just yet for the follow-up shot. Finally, shot goes wide of the net.
Look at that. Nava still coming in with the offense, even though he wasn't playing onto this ball, still played on a defender and took them out for right now. UTA looking fine on offense so far, and that's a pass into Samba to burst this one in. 50 seconds in, so not the quickest goal we've seen on stream today so far. but one of the fastest ones at 110. I still have it written down at 117, the fastest kilometers per hour that we've seen on broadcast so far.
Well, it took 50 seconds for that first goal to finally find its way into that net, but we still have just over 4 minutes left. Plenty of time for either team to pull out ahead of this one. 1 goal lead can't be too much, especially if what counts from our last games come to fruition here as we see Samba go for goal number 2, though UTA might be trying to make me eat my words and just start running away with this score already.
They will tend to do that sometimes. Samba shot over here. The first one took about 50 seconds, like you mentioned. Second one, 17 seconds. This is UTA starting to haul off right here, and they really can't be given this much space. Looks like they're winning this this initial kickoff, and that's going to be Wall now bringing this one out until Samba has something to say about that one. Prime Miner stopping it out. Amarok on the bottom. Yeah, I think that's Amarok. It's a unique name, so correct me if chat. Correct me if that's incorrect, please.
We have Prime Miner sending it to the corner where we had Nava waiting. Now Amarok has no pressure on them. Wall is waiting also behind them to make sure that ball can't cross the midfield easily. Samba challenges Wall. Rotations from Prime Miner has already come out, as has Amarok. Bad burst has to get through Amarok and cannot as the ball gets spiked high, but slight double commit there from ACU. Might be unfortunate and play out against him the next couple of seconds, but Wall finds the ball here off the wall. It gets centered up to Amarok and cleared across the midfield.
Yeah, so members of UTA not there, kind of reading this one and maybe just predicting this one was going the other way anyways. Now Nava taking this one off the wall from Adverse across the middle, way too high there from Samba as Adverse looking to get involved in this one as well. Back and forth we go, and off the wall is Amarok now taking this one out, rounding around this right side right now. Last player back is Nava. A hit, a pass, whatever to Adverse, but that's not going to be picked up until Nava puts it back up. Samba is there, and this is UTA just transitioning so quickly back into that offensive third for just a few seconds, though.
Ball is already heading back into that midfield area. Adverse pops it up, cannot get it past Amarok, though. Saved from the shot on goal. Now Amarok trying to corral this ball here in the corner, has Nava putting pressure on them, plays it around them, has to play it around Samba, but Samba grabs that ball first, sending the volley right back to the corner where Wall is waiting.
Yeah, this has just been some oppressive control right now from UTA. Passes and passes. They've kicked out rebounds that end up onto their teammates as well. A couple offensive opportunities have been had here for Abilene Christian, and mostly this has been UTA in that offensive third thus far. It's where they've been right now. Now back out to the middle. An attempted pickup from here from Wall. They really need to get this one centered up and get a couple more shot attempts on goal.
We've got Samba, though, playing keep away, passing it to their teammates. Amarok gets in that passing lane to send it to Wall. Wall can't reach that ball in time. Samba able to elevate with it yet again, dropping it down below one of the ACU players so they can't reach it. Amarok tries to elevate again, can't find it. Seems like ACU is being forced to play very linearly while UTA is just controlling the majority of this field.
Yeah, I think it might be that kind of proactive, reactive decision. Adverse picking up another stray ball on the right side of this offensive third. Oh, actually, excuse me. I thought that was Samba that hit him too. No, Adverse with the quick cuts right here burns everything boost-wise to get there. And what was a 50-second goal turned into, I think, a 17-second goal, turned into a 2.5-minute goal, which, of course, turned into a UTA 3-0 lead here in Nerdy Bird.
90 seconds is plenty of time for ACU to bring this one back, but Samba's trying to make that task of going up by 1 even harder for the side of ACU. They get the clear, but it's stopped in mid-flight by Nava. Samba follows it up. That's a nice shot on goal, a little bit too high, and Wall is able to make the save as well, sending it to Prime Miner at the mid.
There you go. This is a defense that read this offensive pressure quickly. Adverse took out 1, and that was then Amarok forced on the respawn, just like that. Offensive pressure here. And now it's 60 seconds. We have more so reached a keep-away situation, I feel like, Nerdy Bird. This is, you know, score difference of 1, score difference 2, score difference 3, doesn't really matter. If UTA just keeps rattling this ball around for the next 45 seconds, that'll be game 1 here for them. And match point put on against Abilene Christian College, or Christian University, excuse me.
As long as UTA maintains the spacing that they've had thus far, it should be an easy task for them, and they might be able to get some easy goals in like that. Samba finding the hat trick for themselves in game 1, 35 seconds left on the clock. UTA in a great position with a 4-goal lead.
Yeah, no, excuse me. I'm out here pretending like Abilene Christian University isn't getting anything done with their shots. 4 shots attempted on, no goals yet. That's because there are 4 saves awarded onto this UTA squad. Firing all cylinders they are. Pedal to the metal. Cruise control's on, whatever other car metaphors you can think of here.
There was a double commit on that kickoff from UTA, but it did not play against them. They did get some pressure put on them, managed to save it and bring it back. Samba now passing the ball at the mid where Amarok was waiting, who volleys it to Wall. Unfortunately, though, Samba getting in that passing lane again, steals the ball away for a couple of seconds, opening the field up for UTA.
6 seconds or so to go. We find ourselves in the same kind of situation we found ourselves, in game 2 between Grand Canyon and Missouri Baptist. A little bit of a roll on one side. We'd really like to see at least one, and this time we get it. Prime Minor, third shot attempted, first goal in. Abilene Christian University will not go so quietly into the night and puts up one with a goal to go here and not put up a goose egg. That's a 0, y'all, into their offensive performance here for game 1. Regardless, though, on match point now. Are we doing this again? Are we doing this again, camera? How about that? It's a little bit better. There you go. Now we're even. I can't do the blurred background. Seems like the old hardware can't do it there, Nerdy Bird.
It's okay. It happens. Right now, though, we've got more important things to focus on because UT Arlington is sitting pretty with that first victory. Abilene Christian, though, can start the opportunity to bring this one back. We saw that in our first series. We might see it again, but they definitely need to fix some things if they're wanting to come out on top of this next match.
Taking a look at the numbers right here. Once again, I guess 9 shots attempted for UTA against Abilene Christian University's 6. That really isn't, just a widely oppressive number one way or the other, in my opinion at least. This is an ACU squad that is still completely in this. It just needs to bring it back in game 2 to then give us casters another overtime match here to start out the first 2 for our Rocket League competition here for the CECC.
I'm hoping to see in this next match ACU spread out and take more advantage of the field space that they can create. And as you mentioned, they were playing more reactively rather than making the pace of the game for themselves. So they need to start thinking as though they are the enemy, so to speak, and predicting everything so they are on top of this entire match and controlling the pace if they want to bring this into a game 3. Otherwise, UTA will walk away with a game 2 victory and win out this series.
Yeah, I guess there's only 2 different ways that one of these matches can end. That's 2-0 and 2-1. We'll see how this one ends, and which those it will be.
Samba goes in to grab that ball in mid-flight, wall elevated, deflecting it back. Prime Minor coming in with Nava in the corner. Nava, though, beats them to the ball, able to play it around them, pops it high. Will there be a follow-up touch from the teammates? Yes, Adverse will grab it. Samba now, possession again, has an opportunity to send it to a teammate. Unfortunately, though, Prime Minor gets in that passing lane and steals it away.
Hit back up here, Samba putting this one back down. This is actually decently centered. Nava putting it up. Samba almost with the double tap against this back wall, and that would have been the first. That was almost the first goal the other way. Needing to control this a little bit more defensively, UTA. I think they've gotten a little bit comfortable in this offensive third. Still have to respect this team on the other side.
Definitely in that first game saw UTA have 2, if not 3, possibly more overcommits coming from them. Did not result in goals, though, as the accuracy coming out from UCA was just a little bit too far to one side, but that can be the Achilles heel later on. But Samba, doesn't matter to them as they find goal number 1.
1 minute and 4 seconds into this one, Samba strikes first off a backboard pass, really to themselves. Like that was, I think, Wall up here trying to get this one blocked away a little bit better. And that ended up just centering it up perfectly for this offensive shot. Back onto it, Wall winning the initial third. Samba burning to get to the big boost, picks it up, now turns that into offensive pressure. Adverse left side, easy pickup on this. Samba tries for it, almost gets a hand on it, but that's Prime Minor now running down the other side of the field in the offensive pressure, going the other way now.
Nava drops it down, has 2 on them. All 3 members of UCA have rotated back. Amarok tries to pop it up, but Adverse stops it right in front of the goal, still in goal-scoring territory here for UTA. They just need to center it up like they have been doing, but Prime Minor might get it clear as we do see Adverse go down, but Samba stops it. Another demo will come out on a Nava from Wall, opening the field just for a few seconds for ACU.
Yeah, really got to capitalize on those on the other side. Like, it's a great job stopping this offensive pressure, but stopping their offensive pressure and trying to get your own going would have been the name of the game. Adverse left in middle field, stopped this and burned up the time that his teammates needed to respawn back on this one. Nava trying something, Prime Minor, easy takeaway. Wall back down to the middle, and Prime tried to get a better angle on this one. No guaranteed goals in Rocket League, but that would have been about as open as they get.
Hopefully they'll have another chance as we do still have 2 minutes and 41 seconds left on the clock. Nava trying to corral this ball here in the corner. Has Adverse to help them out. Adverse plays it high over one. Plays it around Amarok. Wall is a defensive wall though and grabs that save from Samba shot on goal.
A stone wall indeed here. Popped back on over, Samba picking it up, and now Wall just collapsing, getting another demo. Has done a great job so far, this ACU squad has, of trying to pair offensive pressure with demos, or at least passes, bumps, something. No, or nothing as of right now. They scored once at the end of this last game, but now a 3-minute run or so, no scores on boards for Abilene Christian University.
A 1-goal lead is quite the different story though from our first game in comparison with UTA's scoreboard at this point.
Oh yes.
1 goal is easy to score within 5 minutes and 55 seconds. ACU has solid defense. They just need to start finding the angles here to score these goals.
Adverse, easy pass from Nava, puts up the second after this defender kind of gets sectioned out here. This is also kind of just what UTA does, right? Some fantastic aerial control across the middle, and either, you know, ball stays with the original player or gets passed to the second. Either way, defender was only going to be able to pick up one of those players and had to make a decision at some point. 106 seconds left in this game, a 2-0 lead. Plenty of time, Nerdy Bird, for this team to come back, but will they? That was the question.
They might, but they have to start shutting down these goal-scoring opportunities for UTA. We've got Amarok playing it off the wall, but Samba volleys it back into the corner, forcing ACU to rotate back. There's no one in front of the goal right now, and Adverse has easy access, scoring goal number 3 for UTA.
One of the fastest, probably the fastest in this one after the lineup, 29 seconds down bottom. Samba Adverse yet again. I think Samba might even have hit it there towards the bottom, more of a pass. It was UTA. Putting up another one, 83 seconds left on this one. Abilene Christian University is on this match point. Of course, a double elimination here within the CECC, but nobody wants to drop down that loser bracket quite yet.
Amarok trying to make sure their team doesn't. Gets a shot on goal, saved by Adverse. Adverse centering it up for Samba, and it's going to go in with no one there to stop it. Slight overcommit on that goal-scoring opportunity from ACU, but the rotations did not happen fast enough.
Samba pop play up right there. Doesn't have to be particularly loud and fast in your face. It just has to get in. Minute and 9 seconds left in this one. And our scoreline now coming out to look a little bit more similar to that game number 1.
Hoping to see ACU at least score 1 goal so they can go into that second chance bracket with their heads held high, knowing they didn't give up at either of these first 2 games they competed in. Walking away with a goose egg is never something anyone wants to do. Prime Minor gets a shot in, but the follow-up from Amarok was not fast enough, and now the rotations have to come out. They reset slightly. Nava trying to prevent that reset from happening. Drops it off the ceiling. Amarok read it well, grabbing it off the ground.
Yeah, so this is, even if Abilene gets scored on a couple more times here, this is just a pour it all into offense situation. There's technically enough time here. The UTA knows that and will just slap this ball around and burn up this time, last 30 seconds or so, especially if they even see a single goal on from Abilene Christian University.
Start playing keep away and just focusing on rotations and passes can make it very difficult to open up the field for ACU here if they're trying to counter UTA's just control. As UTA finds an open goal, but the shot goes wide. 10 seconds left on the clock. We might see one more goal go in, but Nava's shot will unfortunately be saved, and we have a demolition as well. No time left on the clock. Ball hits the ground. That is it. And with that, UTA will walk away with the series win.
Speaking of series, we get a 2-1 series to start this bracket off with. Get a 2-0 here after UTA putting up 8 scores total across 2 games, 4 in each of these. Abilene Christian University, unfortunately, only able to put up 1. Break down any more of this game before a post-game interview here, Nerdy Bird?
I feel like if you're going to shut down UTA, any team that is possibly listening to what we're saying right now, hopefully you have someone who's ready to do the aerial challenge, because that is what you need to be prepared for.
Yeah, seriously. Just acrobatic play here. Simply some of the best in the great game of Rocket League. Post-game interview action coming right at you guys. Don't tune away. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. Hello and welcome back to the Rocket League portion of the CECC, the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. FBI Towboat, I got Nerdy Bird with me, and we got Samba here to give us a minute of his time after the game. Samba, welcome and congratulations on your 2-0 sweep over Abilene Christian University.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Not a problem. Nerdy Bird, take it away, please.
All right, Samba, did you guys have a strategy going into this first game by chance?
mean, not really. I mean, we scrimmed before it. I mean, we had a feeling, we can beat anyone, and we know our quality, and we have really good mechanics. So it was kind of, I guess, just using mechanics to kind of get the win there. Go over them, go around them. You saw a lot of, Advert had a breezy off the wall. So yeah, just those kind of things.
Well, you might still end up seeing Abilene Christian University again because they are going into the second chance bracket, but they could come back and see you later on. If you do end up seeing them again, how do you feel that game will play out?
I mean, who knows? Maybe they, sometimes people are nervous or they have off series, so you never know. Hopefully, we'd be able to 3-0 because I think it'd be a best of 5 if we played them again, unless we played them losers. But yeah, I mean, I think we 3-0 or 2-0, whatever it would be.
All right, Tugboat, do you have any questions for them?
Yeah, absolutely, Samba. I like the answer, right? Because the answer is like revealing of the mentality that to Samba is not a possibility for UTA to drop down a losers bracket anytime soon. I love it. I love it. A winner's mentality here, Samba. I want to ask, coming into this, are there any teams you're particularly looking forward to playing? Looking at our 8-person bracket here within the CECC.
Yeah, definitely try to take down Grand Canyon. They got the first seed. We kind of think we should have got the first seed, but it happens, and we're gonna show why we should have gotten the first seed.
Okay. We'll hopefully see that matchup here on broadcast. You talked a little bit about nerves. Is there anything that you do particularly to warm up for playing on stream, on broadcast, and the matches that matter, or anything else like that? School games, anything else?
Yeah, we usually just make fun of each other and try to laugh
Good.
and tell Nava how bad he is. That's pretty much it.
Okay, so what in what particular specific way did you tell Nava that he was bad today? I want something specific here, Samba.
Yeah, basically that he has trouble hitting the ball. But that's normal. And
No, don't basically me. I'm asked for something specific.
Yeah, hitting kickoffs. Yeah, Ad usually doesn't join in. It's usually just me actually. So yeah, and then Nava fights back. Yeah, Ad usually on the side is listening.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I love how the answers evolved a little bit. Like, we all make fun of each other, and then Simon's like, no, that's mostly just me talking crap to both of them. I love it. Hey, all teams work differently, and it has worked for you today in your 2-0 victory over the Abilene Christian University. Not to say that this is over with by any means, but that's going to be about it for our interview action, Samba. Do we have any shout-outs from you before we get you on off and get this next matchup? That is Arizona State and SF Austin coming up next.
Yeah, shout out to you guys, obviously, for running the tournament and all the administrators. Shout out to the school. Shout out to all the fans, and looking forward to playing later.
We're looking forward to seeing you there, but you got to earn it. Only winners in the interview box. That's what we always say. Samba, thank you again for a minute of your time. Congratulations on your 2-0 victories. We will be looking at again. That is Arizona State taking on Stephen A. Austin, SF Austin, hence referred to as my camera wigs out again. We'll be back with you guys in a minute. Hello and welcome back. The Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup continues now. FBI Tubbo with Nerdy Bird. We got Arizona State coming up next here. That's SF Austin coming to play up against them after we came off of a 2-0 victory here for UTA.
I am excited to see how this match plays out because Arizona State University is a formidable opponent, but SF Austin actually won the Southland Conference Championship February of last year, so they have prowess, they have clout. Let's see if they can maintain that going into this game.
Prowess and clout gonna have to translate to on-game or on-pitch performance here. Pip winning this one off. I will go through SF Austin. That's Jay Gups, Pip, and Blast making it the trio for Stephen A. Austin State University.
And for Arizona State University, we have Crimson, Collie, and Coach Tay coming in, rounding out that roster.
Crimson, a very, very experienced player. Coach Tay as well now joining. Zippy, Anthem, also players that might be seen here today. 30 seconds in, a little bit of offensive prowess here from Arizona State University, a different ASU, right? We just saw Abilene Christian University. Oh, that's ACU. Yeah, I tried.
There's a lot of acronyms. It's alphabet soup at a certain point. It's okay. We do have Collie getting a lot of pressure put on them from both Jay and Blast there in the corner. Possibly a double commit that could be an undoing if it's a trend that continues for the side of SFA.
Tay bringing this one off the wall. Try to get that one down to Cali, I believe. Not going to matter. Blue once again in the defensive third. Coach Tay can't quite get to that, but then not one but two players as SF Austin get an offensive opportunity at this, but don't really turn it into too much.
Crimson waiting at that mid, tries to return the volley, but Blast takes a shot on goal. It's going to be turned away by Coach Tay in the corner. They'll take out Jacobs in the process. Collie will pop the ball high up the ceiling on the wall, but Pip tries to snag it away. Crimson can't get a touch. Jacobs eventually finds it, sending it into the center of the field. Blast playing it off that back wall, but can't beat Collie to that ball, who now drops it down. But unfortunately for them, it looks like SFA will get the better of that touch.
Yeah, what? So a minute and 45 burned off of this clock. It goes rather quick. We don't have teams like Grand Canyon or UTA scoring 4, 5, 6 scores per game, and the pauses that come in there. Coming in, Jacobs comes in at this. Tay meets him there, one-on-one, going the way of this Arizona State University squad. Back on into the offense. Cali trying to bring this one off the side. Now there's a hit, and Crimson RL are going to strike first here for Arizona State University.
2 minutes and 16 seconds before the first goal found its way across that line. I mean, yes, we love the high goal-scoring games of Rocket League, but also low scores and taking a long time to find goals for either side means that we got pretty evenly matched teams, and it's a sign of good Rocket League also not having a lot of goals scored. Ooh. But that cross-map shot from Pip barely saved by Collie.
Yeah, really had to stretch and burn everything boost-wise to get there just to cover that one up. Forcing the hand of the defender is always a good play for any offensive, especially when you get like kind of an off-pitch shot like that. Blast up to the middle. Pip now covering this one up. Cali wisely staying the position right here. Perfect position, perfect time for it. Easy block. Blast not willing to give this one up, but it's going to be Pip coming back off the rebound off backboard, and just like that, Arizona State, the offense for the time being. Never mind. Back to the middle we go. Tay down to Cali. Cali with a shank in, and that's a perfect angle right there.
That's goal number 2. We've got 2 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock. That one in much faster time than the first goal we saw, only taking 47 seconds. 97 kilometers per hour clocking in for that one. Still not quite the fastest ball we've seen go into that net. Perhaps we'll see faster ones in this game.
Perhaps we shall. Harder to beat 117. Current fastest goal on broadcast here today, ladies and gents. Back on down to the bottom. Blast tries for a more defensive shot at this, and that's not going to happen. Crimson able to rally this one around. Tay with a back smack on this, sends it back this other way, but really this ball has just lived in this middle area for 30 seconds or so, and still Cali brings this one out, meeting him there perfectly as Pip. That's a fantastic defensive player from them.
Jacobs bringing this ball around the corner, tries to go for that almost flat to the goal shot in. Saved by Collie. Collie collides with Crimson, so a slight breakdown of comms and rotations there possibly happening. Spacing being maintained, though, for SFA, allowing them to maintain this front third here, putting pressure onto the ASU's goal. But now the opportunity to return the ball has occurred as Collie gets a great pass off the wall, but Jacobs disrupts it, as does Blast returning the volley.
Nicely done. Coach Tay meeting Pip there. Volley of their own on the other side. Now back to the middle. Pip with a fake, I believe, so that Blast can get this one out. Now that's a solid hit. Back down to the bottom. And one of the most electrifying and fast-paced offensive pushes we have seen from any team so far.
55 seconds left on the clock. ASU in a 2-goal lead right now, as SFA has Goose Egg on the board. Scratch that. 3 goals on the board as Collie finds the third. 45 seconds, 15 seconds per goal is doable. It'll be difficult, but if SFA is looking to bring this back, they need to spread out and start being the ones to make the plays and not being the ones reacting to the plays.
I'm thinking about the past here, Nerdy Bird, and I think the last 60 seconds we have not seen a score difference of 1 being overcome in that time allotted. If that happens here today in this last 38 seconds or so, right now, that'll be the first time on broadcast today.
Well, if SFA wants to start closing this gap, they need to shift it into overdrive and be firing on all cylinders right now in order to overcome that 3-goal lead. 25 seconds left on the clock. They're managing to maintain a lot of space. Their passing is on point, but it's getting disrupted quite a bit. Blast centers the shot up, but Jacobs will get taken out by Coach Tay. Blast shot on goal will be turned away by Crimson.
Seconds or so to go. We've only seen a couple goose eggs so far. We just came off of one of those from Abilene Christian University. Pick up here from Coach Tay, now needing to keep this one aloft, and that's just to get that goal to go. Kind of go in between this intermission period, between quarters or thirds or whatever you want to call it. Given this a best of 3, not going to matter. ASU striking first on this one.
Arizona State University now at match point. We can see here shots on goal. It looks like ASU came in with 6 of them. SFA, though, still had quite a few themselves. They actually had 9. It's just none of them found their way in as so many saves came out from ASU.
Wow, yeah, so that really does paint the picture for this game, right? ASU simply got a lot more. They're worthwhile shots, right? 6 attempts on 3 goals, even 500 all the way through there. SFA on the other side, 9 attempts. That means they have had plenty of offensive opportunities. They had this ball plenty of times. They had their opportunities to start these drives downfield. Simply did not happen. 9 for 0. Unfortunate stuff. Unfortunate stuff.
It might be time for SFA to start getting a little bit more physical and going for those demolitions in the goal to open it up for their teammates to score. It might put them in a slight disadvantage, but they need to trust the other 2 people on the field to follow up when that goal is left wide open. We go into this kickoff. It is going to be popped high. Coach Tay is going to bounce off the back wall. Blast is there to receive it, but Collie trying to dunk this down for a teammate. Finds Crimson, but they are colliding with Jacobs as Pip also pushes Collie out of the way. Pip now trying to bring it up to the midfield.
Little mosh pit right there for a second until Jacobs picks one up, puts one in efficiently for SF Austin right here. Some fantastic stuff. 112 kilometers per hour on this one.
So close.
Really is. Pass there from Pip, getting an assist for them.
Now it's 50-50, goes in favor of Jacobs. Looks like SFA is trying to go for a completely different style of gameplay versus the first round as Coach Tay goes in for a shot on goal. It's going to be turned away by Pip. Jacobs again going for that to corral the ball off the wall. It does get cleared. We did have Coach Tay, though, who rotated to that back post, managing to return the volley. Jacobs, though, not giving up here.
Yeah, no triple up offense situations here for Arizona State University quite yet. That's ASU here in the left and the blue. Coach Tay being back, and now Coach Tay being forward. 2 shots attempted. First one in for this game in a tied-up situation. You said it earlier, I'll say it again. Score might as well be 0-0. I guess it could be 10-10. Doesn't matter. Score difference is the same. And that is nada.
The score difference may be the same, but the games are putting ASU at match point. So if SFA wants a shot at victory for this series, they need to win this one out. And that means taking away as many goal-scoring opportunities right now for ASU that they possibly can and getting a few more of their own as we are tied at 1 aside.
Ooh, that's Blast and the rest of SFA taking the lead yet again. They scored first. They allowed a goal, let 20 seconds pass, barely 20 seconds pass. And I'll put up their second to retake the lead. Not really playing in a neutral situation, and definitely not playing behind. SFA has in game number 2. They're playing like they're on match point.
We have that kickoff go largely in favor of SFA. However, it does look like the challenge is going to come out from ASU as they do eventually lose out possession of that ball. Jay at the midfield manages to snag it, but it gets taken away by Coach Tay, who gets a shot a little too far from the goal to even count. Collie trying to pop it high for a teammate where Jacobs will disrupt that, dunking it down on the ground, but it went onto Crimson's hood.
Ooh, Coach Tay coming so close just to getting a solid hand on this and not having the necessary redirects down bottom offensively that this Arizona State University squad would need. Huge clear here from Jay. That's going to be just outside. Big shanking play to send this ball back onto the middle right here. Blast just puts it up, unfortunately, and Pip forced the hand of defender. Now around to the left side. Pip beaten feet to get there, and Coach Tay quickly and easily takes this one off. Back down to the middle. Collie covering this one up for a couple seconds. Now it's going to be Crimson coming out of here. The C squad. I didn't really realize that. Crimson, Collie, and Coach.
Oh, that is... I love matching names like that. Maybe there's some team camaraderie happening there. We do have Jacobs trying to center up that pass, but Coach Tay grabbing it off the wall and getting the save off that shot on goal. Now, it's still here in the corner on the side of ASU. They have to find a clear. Crimson comes in to help out. It is going to be returned by Jacobs. Coach Tay elevates to drop it down into the corner.
That big pop play did purchase this Arizona State University squad plenty of time to rotate defensively, and now they're all pretty much where they need to be. The middleman is going to be the one taking this one out. That's Collier so far. I'll hit back on over to this right side, bouncing against walls and more. Crimson to Coach, not going to land right there. Crimson back out, Blast, can't get a good angle on him, just sends this one back on up to the right. Once again, Nerdy, every single time this happens, the defender is able to get time for their defenders to rotate and get in position to try and take this one out offensively. That's exactly what we just saw there for a few seconds.
Controlling the tempo of the game can be very important when it comes to maintaining or gaining a lead here. We do have Coach Tay taking out Blast, and that plays into that controlling the tempo. That 3-second respawn can throw rotations off for a lot of teams.
This definitely can, especially not even thinking about the, just the mental reset that it requires of, tracking ball. You're with teamed up. Nope, you're just gone for a couple of seconds. Now you come back with 34 boosts in a completely different position. 80 seconds or so left on in this one. Coach Tate comes out, flipping wildly at this one was J-Gubs. Didn't get anything going on that one. Down at the bottom, meeting there is Blast. An explosion in the sky indeed. Coach Tay, back wall, over to Kali. That's Pip losing control of this one, barely getting a hand on it, and now a back smack yet again. Little flip action to boot, making this one just a little bit more fancy, but back to the middle, excuse me, back to ASU's defensive third as we hit 60 seconds.
Got Jacobs trying to get this ball centered up and for one of their teammates. Blast tried to get in there to help out, but there's just too much aggression coming out from ASU to maintain possession there. The ball is in the center of the field. Crimson goes for a shot on goal. Blast will turn it away. It's high in the air as Coach Tay elevates to drop it down. None of their teammates are waiting there. It does look like SFA is starting to bunch up quite a bit, trying to play more defensively to not let a single goal go through to maintain the 1-goal lead that they have as we hit that 30-second mark.
There you go. Cali able to cover this one up after a bouncing defender does nothing across the middle. This is such an interesting shot, right? They hit it against the ground right here. It just bounces up and down. J-Gubs, Blast, Pip, all left out in the lurch as far as what to do. 26 seconds to go. Match point here for Arizona State against SFA. But of course, either team has to take a score right here to take that lead.
Coach Tay took out Pip. Pip has respawned. 17 seconds left on the clock. We might see another overtime here and our first one for this series. ASU looking to get their second game win and walk away with a series victory, while SFA is looking to start a reverse sweep and take us into a game 3. But ASU will say, no, that is the end of your Cinderella story, SFA. Getting goal number 3 with 4 seconds left on the clock. Will we see a buzzer beater, or will we see ASU walk away with the win?
We shall see. Does the slipper go back on the foot? Does the carriage turn back into a pumpkin? This Cinderella story may not be over quite yet, but there's only 2 seconds left, and now a formal volleyball situation to go. Jacobs comes out. This ball gets grounded out. That's going to be it. ASU striking not once but twice on this one after the comeback plays. What was that, 12 seconds, Nerdy Bird?
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible, and ASU did a great job making sure that they just maintained their mental stamina and did not get tilted and kept playing to the best of their ability throughout that entire series, even when it looked like SFA had the win on lock.
Yeah, that was an electrifying SFA squad there at the beginning. Several scores right there, especially, you get one, ASU comes back, ties that, and then they spend 12 seconds or something like that, 10 seconds, something like that, in a formal tie situation just for SFA to strike back on that. Playing from behind, ASU did the majority of that game, and that's anything but the case that they saw in Game 1. Give us a couple minutes, guys. We'll get that little interview action come in for you from a member of ASU, kind of give you a slice into the mind of some of these players during this game. And we are back. And to give us a little bit of their time after the W here is Coach Tay on in from Arizona State University. Coach Tay, you with us?
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing well, doing well. I didn't just come off of a 2-0 victory, but I'm doing pretty well. I got to cast it, so I'm counting my blessings here. Counting my blessings. Nerdy Bird, take it away.
All right, Coach Tay. So first game won in a dominating fashion. Game 2 kind of seemed like you guys are on the back tires a little bit. Did the pressure get to you guys at all during that second game?
I think it got to me a little bit. Not even necessarily just because of the score at any given point. I think I remained calm for that. I was just I don't know. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to. So I was definitely caught off guard and didn't want to get caught out doing some really ugly rotations. But I think I did a couple times. But we're good.
I
we
mean,
made up
mistakes
for it.
happen. Everyone's human. You guys played fabulously, but there was definitely kind of like a turnaround point where it seemed like you guys just flipped a switch. Rotations became absolutely solid. Did like the comms start shifting, or did you start seeing like a breakdown in the gameplay coming out from SFA?
We kind of just had to focus up a little bit and re or like get our comms together again. Our comms were getting pretty ugly, and we weren't communicating as well with who was going and who was rotating back. When we started being a little bit more clear about who was being third man, I think that's when it cleared up a lot because that allowed people to either cut rotations or go for the ball a little bit more comfortably and not have to worry about double commits. So.
All right, it's good to know that comms do still play a very important role in Rocket League. Well, that's my questions, Tugboat. Why don't you take this one away from here?
Yeah, communication is very important in any teams, any relationships out there, and your team is firing all cylinders when it comes to that. A fantastic victory here it was. I want to ask Coach Tay, you have an MVP medal to give to any 6 players in this previous game. Who's it going to, or are you keeping it?
Um, I gotta give it to my boy Collie. That man carries me every game.
There you go. There you go. Maybe equal to our shout out here a little bit later. But last question here. Defensively, it kind of seemed like there was a big change between game 1 and game 2. You want to talk to me a little bit more about anything else that may have changed between those 2 games?
I actually think it was probably more the offensive pressure that assisted the defense. So game 1, I think our offense was just good enough to where it allowed us to be in the proper positions for the defensive plays. And then in that second game, our offense was a little bit lacking, so they're able to put more pressure, which means we tend to be out of position a little bit more often. We kind of crack into that pressure a little. So I think the struggle in offense is actually what led to the crumbling of the defense.
There you go. They're definitely intricately related. Any other shout outs here, Coach Tay, before we get you on out?
No, I think that'll be it. Good. Thank you
go.
though.
No, I appreciate you coming on and give us a minute of your time after the 2-0 victory. That was over SFA. FBI Tugboat, Nerdy Bird. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute to bring you Grand Canyon University taking on Coug Esports in the first winners bracket quarterfinals match that we'll see here today. Don't tune away. We'll be back in just a minute. And we are back, probably about halfway through our Rocket League here today for our CECC competition. FBI Tugboat and Nerdy Bird guiding you guys through this action. Grand Canyon University taking on Coug Esports here next, Nerdy Bird.
I am really excited to watch Coug Esports because we've not been able to see them thus far this evening. And some information that they graciously shared with us is that while they are a great defensive team, their offense is a little lacking at times because they've got 2 keyboard and mouse players. So I'm going to see if their defense truly is their secret weapon here as we go into this first game.
You know, they say defense wins championships, but that is generally regarded as more like an NFL pro football kind of thing. Offense definitely going to be the name of the game here. Both teams see how this one shakes out. Grand Canyon University in the left in the blue. That is Blind Bandit, Syndril, and Kaimana. We've already heard Kaimana in the interview box. Now we hear Syndril from the pass from Kaimana on the first goal of this best of 3.
And over here for the side of Coug Esports, we've got SJ Cryptic, Frosty, and Adam.
Looking back on in this, or an early goal here, putting Grand Canyon University at the lead. This is what the last time we saw them, they put up a 6-0 performance against Missouri Baptist in game number 2. Be looking to do something like that here again against Coug Esports.
Got Kaimana going for that clear, sending it to Syndril on the wall, centered up to Blind Bandit. The shot a little bit too high. Still looking for another opportunity. Syndril will be taken out though by Cryptic. Adam's shot, well, Adam will save the shot on goal from Syndril, and the ball is crossing that midfield as Syndril retreats to snag it off the wall.
A nice snag it was indeed, Nerdy Bird. Now Syndril continuing on. 2 different players gets a hand on this and barely able to stop Syndril on the absolute onslaught of offense that we just saw from this player. 60 seconds back into this one, a pop play over the left. Adam trying to get to this one and does. Burns everything boost-wise to get there at the last few seconds. And now this one even centered up. Syndril back on over to the right. A miss there and a big boost for this player as they're trying to bring this one out. And some offensive miscoordination here from Grand Canyon. Almost leads to nothing there. A nice stop there from Kaimana. That's a big banking shot. Tie it up here. 1:18 into this one after one just gets away from Grand Canyon U.
Frosty with the first goal for their team with an assist from Adam, taking 1 minute and 14 seconds. Only at the 90 kilometers per hour mark, though, so not hitting that triple digits so far in this game.
Only at 90. Only at 90. Big open shot right there, though. This is still tied up, still anybody's game. Yes, Grand Canyon U has been on stream already, so any jitters that might come from that, probably going to be abated. But other than that, these are two teams fighting neck and neck the first 90 seconds of this game. Blind Bandit to the top!
Oh.
What a stop there from Cryptic.
That was absolutely beautiful, but it does not look like GCU has given up on this opportunity to get a shot in as Kaimana gets another shot on goal. It does not find the back of the net. Blind Bandit has 3 on them, so too much pressure to do anything with. Adam finds the clear, but unfortunately no one's pushed up from their team, so it already looks like the defensive reset's gonna have to happen.
Mana, it looked like that was like a little bit of a fake, maybe. Like it looked like they were assuming the pass from teammate. Not 100% sure. Just like that, though, Coug Esports now running this one out. Cryptic tries to cover this one up at a huge rebound from Kaimana here. A redirect, excuse me, from Kaimana. Puts this one up and over. Pop plays just like that on the offense. Pop back on up here. Central looking to rotate with the rest. No boost to be spoken of and looking to fill that meter up before they really try to get on offense again. Halftime now.
Ball is centered up. Adams looking for the clear, finds it, but does not have any of their teammates in front of them, so unfortunately they'll lose out on their ball possession. Blind Bandit passes it to Central. Now the defense here is going to break down as a double commit happens in front of the goal, and GCU finds goal number 2, up by 1, 2 minutes, 19 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, you simply just got to split up this defense, right? Player on the left, I believe that was Cryptic. Kind of really hard commits to this left side. Other player, that's Frosty, trying to bite onto the right. Neither one really going, and this ball just splitting the two defenders. 2-1 advantage now from Grand Canyon U.
Trying to turn that into a 3-1 here in due fashion, and they might just do it. Blind Bandit finding goal number 3 for GCU.
Wow, 11 shots on. Correct me if my caster math is wrong here, but GCU, all the offensive pressure all the time. Houston, Coug Esports has only gotten the 1 shot on for the 1 shot in. That was a big banking play from the other side that nobody really could have gotten on top of.
We still have just over 2 minutes left on the time bank here, so the opportunity for this to be a comeback. 2-goal lead is difficult, but it can be done. However, Central making that a 3-goal deficit for Coug Esports. This could get harder and harder as time progresses. Cougs definitely need to start focusing up on this defense and stop letting these balls roll through that goal line.
Yes. Yeah, the Musty there, 92 kilometers per hour. He's going to be earning it all day long. Grand Canyon U, though, we're talking the off about what exactly it was, the offense defensively wise, this team could do better. That was just a bite up top from defense, kind of a bad mistake right there. But Grand Canyon seems like they're kind of relying on solo plays right here. This is Kaimana. You know, if this is missed right here, like Syndril is way too far forward to really come up to this one. Blind Bandit was flying off on the left side as well. It's really putting a whole lot into a single player's offensive opportunity and their prowess. It does pay off right there. We'll see if that continues, though.
So Coug Esports, if they want to counter that, need to start putting pressure on these players and not just being the third person back in that goal, calling out who's rotating and ensuring that no one has a free pass without pressure on them. 2 people in the goal is not necessary in that situation, and right now GCU is getting everything handed to them.
Yes, they are. 5-score lead here with now 100 seconds left in this first game. Still a best of 3, so this first game isn't going to go down. And don't take this as me writing it off so far, but 5 scores, 90 seconds, a tough feat indeed. Nice breakaway. This is, Coug has already scored off that once, but Syndril reads this like a book, picks it up and puts it back onto the middle. Get a demo to boot. Adam now joining the rest of their squad after a 3-second respawn.
Ball gets popped in the corner. Adam putting pressure on Kaimana. Blind Bandit comes in to center it up. There's a shot on goal and a carry into goal, follow it up that rebound. 7-goal lead, 69 seconds on the clock. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think this is a Herculean task that not even the best Rocket League players can close this gap unless something drastic were to happen to GCU right now.
Yeah, listen, Grand Canyon University coming out of Phoenix, Arizona. That's Houston, Texas here for Coug Esports. A little bit of battle of the Southwest here, but not a negative thing to quote the very mathematical score lead right now. And I got to say, as a Rocket League caster, I feel compelled, right? There's the Brazil scoreline. There's the Brazil scoreline. It's been said. It was like bursting out of me like the alien from, well, the movie Alien. Has to be mentioned by every Rocket League caster whenever the scoreline comes up.
Fair enough. I'll give it to you. That's totally fine. We've got 38 seconds left on this clock. Right now, GCU sitting pretty with a 6-goal lead, and Coug Esports just looking to start getting that gap a little smaller. Odds of it completely decreasing are little to none. I hate to be that bearer of bad news, but they can get another shot, possibly another goal in here just to raise the morale before we go into the second game of this series.
Yeah, we've talked about this plenty of times already, Nerdy Bird, and I do genuinely feel like teams play better after they are faced down with a goose egg situation, but still get it in the last 10 seconds. This is not the situation we have seen so far. This is a guaranteed non-goose egg for Coug, which means they should be able to mentally reset. That is a mark of any great competitor, and Coug Esports has a trio of players that fits that bill. Back on over to it, 8-2-7-1. Or excuse me, 8-1, 8-7-2, 7-1, doesn't matter. That's going to be GCU striking first and striking rather hard here for a 6-score lead. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is tying the biggest lead we have seen at the end of regulation at the 0-0 here with Grand Canyon U's other victory, 6-0 victory there. And that was against Missouri Baptist for the first match that was on broadcast.
I believe you were right, but we can't count Coug Esports out just yet. In total, there were 17 shots on goal coming out from GCU, and only 7 of those went in, so 10 saves in total, or, well, at least 10 saves, and then 10 map geometry works in the favor of Houston here. So there was still action happening. Houston was trying their hardest. They are not out of this yet.
A good point, though. A good point. Earned it was no matter what. Houston, that's the Coug Esports squad. Not out of this one quite yet, but a lot is required of them. Let's break it down a little bit more. Any holes in the armor for GC that you saw, offense or defensive here, Nerdy Bird?
You called it out, those solo plays. At the end of the day, this is a 3-on-3 game, and you need to be relying on your teammates. As soon as the Coug Esports team starts realizing that they go for those solo plays, they just need to start putting pressure on the one person with that ball possession, or honestly taking out whomever is in front of them to reduce how many players are on the field and capitalizing on that space that's created when only one person's being a playmaker at a time.
Couldn't tell you what the other grammatically correct points are, but I'm pretty sure whomever was correct there. So congrats to you there, Nerdy Bird. I can never figure it out. Whom, I like it. GCU, Grand Canyon University, taking on Coug Esports here in game number 2. This is a best of 3. We'll see if this Coug Esports able to bring this one back and push it to a game number 3.
When you are facing down a deficit in our match point, it's important to always remember it is at 0-0 in the series and at the scoreboard, so you go in with a fresh mental reset. Hopefully that is what Coug Esports has done here. We have not seen a goal just yet, and I do believe we saw one scored rather quickly in the first series, so we're already having a little bit of a different story being told here as Blind Bandit tries to drop the ball down onto Syndrel, and Frosty will find the save there and clear it just for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, the simple fact of the matter is that GCU has simply not had the same offensive opportunities. Just like that, a hit over, and Adam and the rest of Coug Esports strikes first.
And
that
Adam,
is what we like to see.
Adam, this one's for you. That is what is known as an Adam bomb. Congratulations on getting your first one in this series.
There you go. There you go. Nice little animation there at the end, 45 seconds into this one. And again, we have not seen Grand Canyon University play from behind since their first matchup on stream. Adam, another explosion right here, keeping the theme. Not really anything that they took off advantage-wise off of the demo on the end, but now Kamana. Okay, so actually with that demo against Kamana, another demo against Kamana, he's spent half of this game so far in the respawn area. Big bounce, Frosty shows up right there. Not going to score on Coug Esports that easily.
Mana trying to corral this off the ceiling. It drops down. It does find Syndrel, but the shot on goal will be saved by Adam. It's going to cross the midfield where Blind Bandit elevates to volley it to their teammate Kaimana on the side. Shot on goal just beelined into the net. That would be so difficult to stop from rolling in. There was a great attempt, but now we are tied 1-aside with 3 minutes and 37 seconds on that clock.
Careening through the air right there, Kamana was to hit the tied for fastest score ball that we have seen on stream today, 117. It's easy to remember because of Halo and Master Chief and stuff.
I have it written on a whiteboard because my desk is a whiteboard right now.
Nice. I like the style.
these kickoffs have been going largely in favor of Coug Esports. However, the field pressure is being heavily maintained by GCU, so they're not able to capitalize right away and get an easy goal. However, GCU playing like a completely different team than we saw earlier. Blind Bandit now elevating to go for that off the backboard centering pass to Kaimana. However, the angle's just not right, and it'll go to the corner.
Yeah, defenders doing a great job right now of covering these up and not allowing these backboard rebounds to come in and basically set up a second shot, basically be a wall-assisted pass for this Grand Canyon University squad. Now getting past one, Adam almost takes it, come flying over the top of Blind Bandit. You ever seen your life flash before your eyes? Because I'm sure Blind Bandit did just now.
I don't know if they could see anything. After all, they are blind. We do have Central now going. I'm sorry. Central going for the aerial play there. Does get disrupted in mid-flight. Blind Bandit will elevate. Don't think it's... Oh, they will get barely high enough. Bounce it off the ceiling. The pinch from their between a collision. Shot on goal will be saved by Cryptic.
Yeah, Cryptic with a fantastic defensive play right there. They were the last player back by every way, shape, and means. Both others had bitten hard onto this offensive ball to try and get their defensive prowess up, and that is exactly what the doctor ordered. Still a tied-up scoreline right here, Nerdy Bird. 2 minutes left.
Syndrome doing some fancy aerial play, drops the ball down on the ground, plays it around one, but Cryptic, being the defensive powerhouse, finds another save for Coug Esports. 1 minute, 55 seconds left on the clock. Still anybody's game. Got Blind Bandit, very little pressure on them, sending the ball to Kaimana. Now another off-the-wall shot. Cryptic rotating back, as is Frosty, to not leave this goal wide open.
Yeah, wide open goals, I think that's kind of like a thing of game one, right? And after a certain point, Grand Canyon just kind of got away from this one. Coug Esports is playing a completely different series right now, and these are things you love to see. Kaimana chopping down right there. One demo in. Huge redirect from Adam right there. That's how you flip offensive pressure. Adam trying to meet Syndrome there. Not going to happen. Now Blind Bandit can't quite get the second hit. That would have been an open net with no defenders back. Not going to happen. The second goal will so easily.
Adam plays it around one, can't play it around the Blind Bandit though. Ball in the corner. Cryptic trying to put on the pressure. Frosty making sure they maintain pressure on the ground. Ball goes into the corner. Adam gets booped around. Central now going for an aerial play to carry it onto the net. Adam gets a great clear. Frosty has just one to beat, but Frosty will go down to Blind Bandit.
Unbanded now covering this one up. Kaimana opting to pick up big boost as we come in to an incredibly close matchup. Overtime we might get to, but regardless, once again, Coug Esports knows they're on match point and they're playing like it. Blind Bandit, left side shank. This is going to be rolling around the top, now landing decently even. Cryptic pop play back on out, and Kaimana is able to cover this one up. Syndrome up to it! Syndrome reaches out, hits this one, rattles against the top, and defender is there still and all day long. Have been for the past 5 minutes. Back onto the right side. Blind Bandit putting this one down. Adam meets him there and shanks this one back on out. Syndrome maybe looking at this one, maybe wishing it was on the other team because that would have been an open net.
Syndrome looks like they're trying to burn out a little bit of time on that clock to make it easier to maintain a 1-goal lead. Now we are at the time where if that ball hits the ground, we are in overtime, and now golden goal territory. Will the powerhouse defensive team come out on top, or the solo play team come out and play in spades, as we see the classic off the back wall, and the Blind Bandit finds the golden goal.
Absolutely. This is 7 seconds of overtime in, and it just seemed like a little bit too much from this Coug squad. Cryptic trying to get out from this wall and get into a defensive position, and just the most minor of misplays, the most minor of mispositionings on here. Nerdy Bird is going to equal out a 2-0 victory for GCU. Two different games that looked extremely different. Just to recount the scoreline here, that was 7-1 Grand Canyon in game number 2. That was 2-1 Grand Canyon U in game 2, plus in overtime. As close as it gets.
Houston, though, 11 saves, 6 for Cryptic, 2 for
Holy
Adam,
moly.
and 3 for Frosty. That is a solid defense. They told us they're a great defensive team. Now they just got to start learning how to turn that defense into the greatest offense, which, yes, that applies more to football, but perhaps it can work out in Rocket League as well.
Absolutely. As is standard for your Collegiate Sports Commissioner's Cup, we got a post-game interview coming in from the winners, from another GCU member. We had, I think that was Kaimana. Yes, that was Kaimana early on in the interview. Might get him again, might get a different player. Not sure. Can't tell the future. We'll be back with you guys in a minute. And we are live, we are back, and we are here. The CECC continues now, and FBI Tugboat, Nerdy Bird here, and we got Syndril welcoming them on into the interviews box. Syndril, you with us?
I'm here.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I'm doing pretty well. Once again, I'm not the one coming off of a 2-0 victory in Rocket League. I just got a casted, so I'm still considering myself lucky. Nerdy Bird, take it away, would you?
All right, so that first game that you guys had in that series went absolutely phenomenal in your favor, but game 2 was drastically different. Do you feel like your guys' playstyle had changed drastically between game 1 or in game 2, or do you feel like the Cougs changed up their playstyle against you guys for game 2?
I think both sides changed it up. The Cougs, they played a better defense in game 2 because they knew what to expect. For us, we kind of went more for pass plays.
All right, and that makes sense. My second question here is, you guys had an insane amount of shots on goal between both of the games that we just got to watch. Do you do any sort of like drill training for shots on goal? Like, how many hours a week do you think you spend doing that sort of stuff?
Most times we just play offense, see how it goes, look for pass plays, open opportunities for each other. Try to get it off our end as much as possible, really.
All right, well, that's my questions, and FBI Tugboat, I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So we talked a little bit more generally. I want to say specifically, we saw a Coug Esports squad that put up not one together, but 11. That's 1 and 1 together here. 11 saves in game number 2. I want to speak specifically defensively how Coug Esports changed from game 1, a game 1 where you guys scored 7, to a game 2 where it came out in the very end, 2-1 victory, and that was in overtime as well.
I think in general, they just kind of let us shoot and then just saved it, really. They didn't want to force anything just because we kept beating them to the ball.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Do you think that this might be going on to a game 3 if Coug Esports have gotten much more offensively aggressive?
Possibly, but we kind of just outpaced them. They didn't really have an ability to get off their end that often.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Perhaps that's the definition of theory crafting after the game. Thank you, sir, for your time. I want to ask if you have any shout-outs here before we get you on out of here and get UTA and Arizona State up on stream.
Shout out to the team and shout out to the university.
There you go. There you go. Short and sweet to the point. Love to see it. Nerdy Bird and FBI Tugboat back with you guys again. That's UTA Arizona State doing battle next and last here for the CECC broadcast today. More of it tomorrow, obviously. And we are back, we are here, and we are live. The Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup continues on. FBI Tugboat with Nerdy Bird over there. I was pointed right. There you go. I always get it backwards on the camera, the directions and whatnot. UTA and Arizona State coming up here next. Another Texas versus Arizona matchup here. Texas that believe, the Lone Star State that believes everything's bigger in Texas, and Arizona that doesn't believe in daylight savings, right?
Correct.
I was trying to pull out a random fact about Arizona here.
I mean, it works out in the end. I'm excited to see what both these teams bring to the table for this match. This is going to be our closing game for the evening, so I want to go out with a bang. I want a full 3-game series. I want an overtime that lasts more than 30 seconds, please, because that actually is very exciting. And I want to see, like, clean rotations and passes happening in this game. And if there's a few explosions, that'd be pretty cool, too.
Who doesn't like explosions? Any good entertainment factor is just simply better with fireballs of explosions going down on this field. And speaking to your point here, Nerdy Birdie, we have not gotten a non-2-0 series in these best of threes since our very first on broadcast. That was Grand Canyon University taking on Missouri Baptist. I would really like to see that as well to kind of, finish it up. Today's Rocket League action for the CECC. Once again, more Rocket League action tomorrow. This is the last of the winners semis, though. And one of the last games, not the last, but one of the last games, there will be a best of 3, best of 5s commencing tomorrow. Back on here to the middle. Not really much of an introduction needed. We've seen both of these teams on broadcast so far, right?
Yes, both the rosters looking exactly how they were earlier, so no subs have been made just yet. Collie has the ball at the mid, passes it to Crimson after some minor disruption. Nava gets a great clear, but Collie waiting off the wall, grabs it, dunks it down, but Adverse will capitalize on it being left in open space. The back off the backboard pass, just a little too much momentum, goes all the way back towards UTA's goal.
Ollie keeping this offensive pressure back up. Now back to the middle here. Adverse, nice cut. Crimson cannot get there to cover this one up. Nava, bounce plays against the wall and more. Now a double up offense, but that's going to be enough because Collie and the rest of these members from Arizona State were able to keep it offensive pressure, momentum, and forward. Back and forth, little pinball action defensive-wise here against UTA as they're trying desperately to bring it out of their third.
Nava tries to go for a shot on goal. It's stolen away by Crimson. Another volley from Samba goes into the corner. They have Coach Tay hot on their tires. We do see a slight pop in front of the goal, but Adverse will capitalize on it. Collie comes in for the save. Off the wall, Nava tried to center it up again, and it will be passed across that midfield mark to Collie, who's trying to drag it down towards UTA's net.
Oh my, 360 has been the number because that is the perfect amount of degrees on a rotation. Both of these teams doing exactly what they need to, offensive and defensive wise. There has not been, there's not been a clean takeaway nor an open net situation so far in this matchup.
We've got Samba with two of the members of ASU putting pressure on them. There's a demolition coming out onto Collie, the defensive powerhouse for ASU, opening up an opportunity for Samba to find a goal with the assist from Adverse, and that took, what, a minute 51 seconds. So that's one of the longest times we've seen to have an opening goal in any of our games thus far.
Minute 50 seconds, a demo, a double pass back to original goal scorer and ball keeper right there. Everything was required for UTA. Once again, this is going to be a matchup for the ages.
We've got Crimson sending the volley over towards UTA's side of the field. Samba elevates, Nava elevates as well, spiking it to an open net. Soccer rules kicking in to be the saving grace, but will they be able to stop the second goal from rolling in? Crimson will find a save and send it to the midfield where Nava drops it back down towards the goal. Collie will collide with Adverse to prevent them from capitalizing on that opportunity.
Yeah, so much slowed down Arizona State defense now gives them a little bit of time to breathe right here. Attempted pass, Nava gets this one way too high after Samba gets aggressive on the demo duty. Nava, rotation, big boost in hand. Samba's going to be the one to cover it up right now. No boost to be spoken of as this offensive opportunity continues on here for UTA. Coach Tay trying to bring this one out. Pop play to the middle. Crimson would have liked to field this from a different location, but they'll take it any way they can, especially at a 1-0 deficit. For right now, Samba reads this one perfectly. They know the language, they know the book, they know it by heart.
Even Coach Day's follow-up shot, unfortunately, was just a little too far to one side, and that goalpost was a saving grace. Adverse pops it off the ceiling. It's going to drop down. They don't have any pressure on them coming out from ASU. Coach Tay comes in to try and chip the ball away. It goes across the midfield stripe, and Nava volleys it right back. Shot off the backboard, centering up for Adverse, will be stolen away by Crimson.
So far, this has been a battle of angles here for Arizona State. There is a handful of kilometers per hour difference between this Arizona State squad and tying it up literally right now. There's been at least two that I've counted, different situations where they've hit just outside, just a little bit too high, just a little bit too right, just a little bit too left, because these players of Arizona State are being forced to really ramp up their speed to the next level just to get on top of this ball. That is also translated into wonky angles left and right side. That has not yielded in goals for them so far. 100 seconds left here, Nerdy. Oh my goodness.
Collie, though, carrying that ball in with the assist from Coach Tay. This is beautiful, some great aerial play and ball control here around Samba. Doesn't even need to do the secondary touch and rolls right in. 98 seconds left on the clock, down by one. ASU has the opportunity to bring this back. They just got to shut down UTA's offensive opportunities.
The only thing separating Arizona State for a couple more offensive scores, is what I mentioned earlier. A little bit of a slower play and simply getting a couple demos onto these UTA players. Can't do anything if you're simply not present onto this field. Got to do it quickly, though, because those respawns come in 3 seconds.
We have Collie getting a clear, but Nava waiting at the midfield, tries to stall it out. Collie takes it away from them. Crimson centers it up for Collie, but Samba read it well, brings it off the side of the wall. Now centering it up, looking to pass. Doesn't do it in time, though. Too many touches, and they lose their dribble and possession, but Adverse might be here to rally the team back for another offensive opportunity, as they have a lot of pressure being put on them right now from ASU.
I gotta say, both teams are kind of like counting chickens before they hatch when it comes to these angles. That's multiple times that fakes have been just absolutely bitten into by members of both teams here, and that is yielded 1 score so far, but possessions, change of possessions left, right, and in center. Adverse back on the outside. Samba with an uncharacteristic miss right there. Kind of a whiff play across the middle as they're trying to assume this one out. Back to the middle. Samba rockets this one in. That's going to be Defender racketing it back out. Score difference of 1. Adverse and the rest of UTA will take it, but they would like to get another one to go and push us to a 3-1 scoreline.
ASU needs to stop being on there, just being flat-footed inside this goal. We're seeing a lot of times where we look at that goal and there's 2 in there, not creating opportunities to open this field up for themselves. They're down by 1. The ball hits the ground, and UTA walks away with the first-round win.
Okay, to be fair, we are a third of a second, I'll call it, maybe even a quarter of a second difference in that game, Nerdy Bird, to this one continuing on, and at least being a volleyball situation. These are 6 high-octane players, very, very skilled players right here, and keeping a ball aloft like that isn't easy peasy. Obviously, UTA would have wanted to ground this one out, but ASU had more opportunities of this. Again, that's just, I really do feel like that is a difference maybe of half of a second, and another bounce for that ball to keep this one aloft.
It was definitely a very close game as well. Goal scoring wise, it was 2-1, but shots on goal, UTA had 9, whereas ASU only had 4. So ASU needs to start creating more offensive opportunities going into game 2 if they want to see the opportunity to have a game 3 and not face the stress that is the redemption losers bracket.
Yeah, seriously, and that's just a minor difference. This is a 1-score ding difference. We're still watching this one in overtime. As it is, best of 3. Arizona State, if they do lose this, they will still have a loser's bracket run available. Once again, this is a double elimination tournament. Neither of these teams, if they lose, will be eliminated from the CECC, the Commissioner's Cup here. Back and forth to it. Nobody with real like offensive pressure that so far. This has just been everybody just pressing down the boost pretty much as soon as they get it to get on top of this ball and try and maintain an offensive possession for any amount of time. Adverse. Excuse me. If you want something done here, Nerdy Bird, you got to do it yourself.
This looked like Adverse had no pressure, and yeah, you never want to be on the defense and see an offensive player closer to your own goal than you are. That means you were in the wrong spot.
A fair statement all day long. A bit of a whiff there for an Arizona State University player, but these are situations that must be expected. Adverse, back onto the top. Tay, center, tied up situation, and UTA does the same exact mistake that ASU did earlier to give them their lead.
All right, now let's see if those mistakes are made again. We don't want to see open goal opportunities being scored from either side. We want a genuine shot on goal that had somebody there trying to stop it from going in. However, we can't always be the ones to stop that from happening. We do have Samba and Adverse colliding, a little teammate-on-teammate aggression happening. Nava tries to elevate, decides to back off. Crimson dragging the ball down, Samba waiting. Grabs it and pops it to Adverse, who sends it to Nava.
Oh, Nava would have had a solid shot on this one. Now, Callie was there on the other side, but it's going to be who else but Adverse, Nerdy Bird.
Adverse has been quite the playmaker here for UTA all afternoon. Let's see if they can keep this momentum alive. We still have 4 minutes left. It is a best of 3, but UTA might be looking to close this one out with just 2 games in a 3-game series.
Yeah, the only detriment for UTA is that this happened in a minute. This would be much better looking if this was 60 seconds left with a 1-score lead. Coach T, bring this one in. Adverse showing up on the defense as well. Kali over the top and just barely getting away from this. That's a shank play, but Crimson is there all day long. Big boost to be spoken of as Tay coming in, rotating in there. Crimson looking at a big tee-off opportunity, but defenders yet again are there. Adverse!
Oh, hat trick for Adverse.
Nerdy Bird, perfectly isn't Adverse, but Adverse is a player, and they're playing very, very well.
Something needs to be done to Adverse if ASU is going to look to come out on top of this one. Just have someone designated to be constantly on them, elevating with them, creating insane amount of pressure, and just make their day a little bit harder.
90 seconds into this one. That's correct the math if I'm wrong, but an average of 1 score every 30 seconds here for your UTA squad. Arizona State on match point. You need to start playing a little more like they know it. You need to get on offense. That's what we've been saying so far. This is just UTA controlling this ball.
Holly has the opportunity to get a clear here. The pressure has been reduced on them. They do collide with Samba. Looks like Crimson came in to help them out, but unfortunately for them, Samba will maintain possession. Snagging is Coach Tay, sending it to the side where Adverse was waiting in the wings to snag that ball. Crimson trying to return the volley over towards the side of UTA, collides with Nava in mid-flight. Coach Tay comes in to help them out, but Samba finds the save at the last second.
That was a fiery shot from Coach Tay indeed. Would have liked to have clocked that one. Did not connect after the defensive prowess of UTA. Back down to it. Stop play there. Samba trying to cover this one up and keep it back going towards this orange side. Kali there. Kali with the second touch. Always more important than the first, but adverse there for the teammate. Samba down. Adverse rotations. That's going to be Nava up. Double commit. Adverse again. 6th shot attempt. Nerdy Bird. 4th one in. That's a hat trick +1.
3 goals, 222 seconds to tie this up if you're rooting for Team ASU. It's doable, it won't be easy, and Adverse is just going to keep stonewalling every opportunity that ASU takes here. Something needs to change. I don't know what it is at this point. Collie might find that missing ingredient to find another goal here for their team, but they got to start putting those extra goals up on that scoreboard here soon if they don't want to close out this series and let UTA walk away with the win.
I completely agree here, Nerdy Bird. What I got to say, at a certain point, just going after Adverse and just straight up demoing this player over and over again is not a bad place to start. Once again, people, 6 shots on, 4 goals made. Every single one for UTA has come off the back of the workhorse Adverse.
We have Crimson play it around 1, but can't play it around Nava. Nava centers it up. Kali gets in that passing lane, trying to play it off the wall, loses their dribble on that second touch. Samba now has an opportunity to get a shot on goal. It will be spiked up by Crimson. Samba, though, not giving up, centers it up for Nava. Kali sends it across the midfield. Adverse looking for a back pass to Nava, but there's a lot of pressure on them. Nava finds that clear and is now elevating across the midfield stripe.
Yeah, we're looking at a ball that spent, what, 12 seconds maybe outside of this ASU defensive third. It has pretty much lived there the majority of this game, and that is reflected in our current scoreline.
And Samba carries that ball into the net, bringing their score up to 5 minutes and 10 seconds left. ASU is in hot water right now, down by 4, and that's a very, very hard score gap to overcome with so little time left on that clock.
Yeah, score difference of 4, something like 15 seconds or something like that required for this team to come back. And that is just a tie, of course. No goose egg situations for Arizona State, but that's not going to be enough here in the winner's bracket. They're here for a reason, and they want this win like they can need their next breath.
Samba elevating to spike this ball up to keep it in the air. Kali trying to read where it's going to drop. It does fall right in front of Kali, but there's a lot of pressure. Slight car pile up here in the corner allows Crimson to take it away. Adverse tries to put pressure on, overdrives it a bit. Ball in the corner. Adverse sends it right back across the midfield. Has no one to beat, and the pop goes far enough forward to roll right in. UTA up by 5, 37 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I'm going to call it. UTA would practically require, or Arizona State would practically require this UTA squad to just put the controllers down for 37 seconds to come back on this one. UTA plays even a shimmer of defense. This game is over, and Arizona State's winner's bracket run will also be over. Once again, double elimination. Arizona State, if they lose this, not going to count it quite out yet, even though it's looking grim. If they lose this, they will go down to that loser's bracket and not necessarily be eliminated out from the Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup.
We have Crimson trying to keep those hopes alive. Just closing the score gap a little bit can be a huge morale boost. Samba will elevate, though, trying to stop the possession from switching over to ASU. Nava still maintaining a lot of possession, lots of pressure on them. Clock ticking down to 3 seconds. You can see that UTA is trying to ground this ball. ASU trying to keep it high. We'll have to see if it works out in their favor. Will we see a buzzer beater goal to give them that morale boost they need? And we will not. And UTA will walk away with the series victory.
Yeah, game 2 looking much less close than game number 1. We had plenty of talk about in a 2-1 that just almost came down to an overtime situation. A 6-1 just outside the Brazil situation is not necessarily the same. Arizona State dropping on down to that loser's bracket now after their first match loss here in winner's bracket side. And Nerdy Bird and I will be back just a minute after we get another UTA member here. Little interview action and the post game. Hello and welcome back. We are here with our last post-game interview of today. More Overwatch, more Rocket League action, winners semis and losers semis, winners finals, losers finals, and grand finals tomorrow. FBI Tugboat here with Nerdy Bird, and we got Adverse. Who else but Adverse here to give us a minute of their time after the game. A dominant performance it was. Adverse, you with us?
Yeah. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Glad to hear it. Dirty Bird, take it away, please.
All right, Adverse. So definitely in game two, it seemed like what happened was you told your teammates, get in my backpack and let me carry you because you were a powerhouse throughout that entire game two. And honestly, when you carry your team on your back, it can also put an X on it for the other teams. Are you worried about that going into the games tomorrow?
A little bit. I've known some teams who like to focus on me, like take me out of the game, hit me out. But I believe in my teammates. They have got some good mechanics and good rotations. And even if I'm gone, they got me. They got my back.
That's fantastic. Team faith is very important. And I got to ask, it's been quite the long day. Are you a little bit tired?
Yeah, actually, yeah. Been working on homework early today, and now it's this Rock League. It's just a little tiring, but we persevere.
Hopefully, you'll be able to get some good food, good hydration, and good rest tonight to go in tomorrow swinging and playing at your absolute best. Tugboat, I'll let you close out this interview.
Yeah, absolutely. Adverse. I believe we talked to a teammate and asked them about any teams they were looking forward to playing in this competition. Are there any teams that Adverse is looking forward to playing specifically within the CECC in this bracket?
Um, Unfortunately not. I don't have any teams. I usually just show up and perform.
There you go. No, it's a question. You answered it perfectly. Ask a question, get an answer, and just standard performances, no matter who. It's a clean slate here from Adverse people. That's the answer that we are getting. I believe I asked a teammate this as well, but are there any preparation work that you do before coming in for a bigger elimination style bracket, domination style bracket like we have here today? Any preparations that you do?
Um, well, I like to just get on extra early, right? Just warm
Mhm.
up and scrim. Team practice helps out, and just eliminate the team.
There you go. Just standard practice here from Adverse is the answer. Appreciate you again. We're going to go ahead and get you on out of here and thank you again for your time. I want to ask you if you have any shout outs before we go, though.
Shout out to all our families watching. Hopefully, maybe,
There you
and
go.
shout out to you guys for hosting.
I appreciate you. Anytime, anytime. Once again, this Adverse. Congratulations to them on their 6-1 victory in game two, and then 2-1, a little bit closer there in game number one. With that, though, Nerdy Bird, I do believe we have reached my least favorite part of any broadcast. And of course, is the end for today. Do you have anything else for the good people before we do go?
Honestly, keep an eye on that second chance bracket. I mean, it may be dubbed the losers bracket, but one of them will end up being in that championship position and going for the title. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
It's a fantastic point. It might be called a loser's bracket, but there is a guarantee that one of these teams from that bracket will be seen in the grand finals. For now, though, we will tell you guys goodbye. Big shout outs to our production crew today. That is Jeet and Monica. Big shout out to anybody over there from the NECC or from the CECC, excuse me, who's going forth and providing their time and making our jobs as casters just a little bit easier. Really do appreciate that. Till next time, guys. Same channel tomorrow. Thank you, Polly. Yes, we got a little Rocket League action culminating here today. FBI Tugboat here with Nerdy Bird. We got Grand Canyon University, University of Texas Arlington, and in case you guys were watching yesterday, we are now, of course, in our best of 5 series. No more best of 3s here, Nerdy Bird.
No, and I feel like the best of fives are much harder to deal with than best of threes, especially because mental exhaustion starts to kick in during the course of a best of five series, especially if it hits game three and it's starting and a reverse sweep begins.
Exactly. We got like little mini reverse sweeps yesterday. Today in these best of 5 series, we'll have the opportunity for the full reverse sweep situation. Gotta say, as a very new not quite 3-week resident of the universe of Las Vegas, I gotta say shout out to UNLV, right? Fantastic stuff. Number 3 seed coming through there in Overwatch. Big shout out to Setblance and Dryad, the goated duo, bringing you guys that action. We're done with Overwatch though. Valorant is still going on, I believe. We got Rocket League starting here in just a little bit. 2 teams, no real introductions needed if you checked us out yesterday, but in case you're new here, of course, Grand Canyon University has just absolutely been mollywopping their way through this bracket so far, and UTA, same can be said from there. Kind of a rock in a hard place, an unstoppable force, an unmovable object right here. Lower finals, Arizona State has punched their ticket in there after That was a 3-0 or 2-0, excuse me, over Abilene Christian University. And the loser of this will face Arizona State at a redemption shot.
I'm interested to see if who ends up coming out on top of this one. I have a prediction, but I'm not going to state it out loud because I feel like anyone in Twitch chat will immediately start shouting caster curse at some point if anything that is close to the opposite of what I say starts happening. So my prediction is going to stay close to my heart and quiet for now. However, I'm interested to see how this next game plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. I will unabashedly show my preference, show my bias here, because at the end of the day, as you know as well as I do here, Nerdy Bird, we have the script. We already know what's happening. It's UTA and 4 every single time. Script activated. The game will be activated here, but we'll get into that one in just a little bit. Like Paulie was saying, there's a lot more fun esports action here for the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Over there, April, May, a whole lot more. Check out Twitches and Twitters and websites and everything else more to kind of find out what's happening and what really this competition will have an effect on. Not just formally within tournaments and whatnot, but also like the kind of mentals and whatnot, because you can guarantee that a lot of these teams playing here today will be continuing on with the CECC. Big shout out to production as well. That is the Geet and Monica here again. Without them, we are just beautiful faces screaming out with golden voices out of the void about esports, Nerdy Bird. Without them, our jobs are much, much harder.
Yes, they are the ones carrying us on their backs in this instance. So they are the MVPs of all of that's happening right now. And though the camera does not get to show their faces, they are gorgeous and amazing human beings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good at their jobs as well. Hands down, the most thankless job in esports. It's always what I say, Nerdy Bird. Production, like behind the scenes production observing and whatnot. Let's talk a little bit about how these two teams got here, right? UTA. Oh, no, excuse me. That was UTA beating Abilene. I said that backwards there earlier. The Samba adverse and Nava, that was a 4-1 and then a 4-0 situation in that 2-0 clean sweep. Do me a favor, run through GCU a little bit.
So Grand Canyon University, do you want me to run through like their roster, so to speak here, or do you want
I
me
was
to?
just talking about their most recent games and whatnot.
Well, their most recent games that we got to watch yesterday, in all honesty, we saw a lot of solo gameplay. That was their strongest aspects, as well as their speed and their basically their aerial control in those games that we watched yesterday with them. However, we also discussed the fact that because they like to go for a lot of solo plays, that could be their undoing going into this next game against Arlington. But Arlington also is guilty of doing the same thing. So that's kind of more of what I want to focus on going into this next series of 5 is seeing how the things that we noticed yesterday with the games that were the downfalls of both these teams that are kind of the same. How will that play into these 5 matches?
Like how those related themes, will they show up, and if they show up, how will they show up here today? We got a chance to virtually sit down, I guess, with Adverse. We were talking with him yesterday about how he's kind of like the heavy hitter for that UTA squad. Even teammates could kind of like acknowledge that fact and definitely give those credits when it came in. Yes, that's Adverse here for UTA that really has been the workhorse as far as offense there. Well, plenty of defense now coming out from this player, but mostly I think it's fair to say that Samba has been the more defensive player, and especially when it comes to those niche, really, really clutch plays, Nerdy Bird, I think that's Samba all day long. That's definitely a theme we're going to see repeated here today.
And I mentioned it yesterday because Adverse was such a powerhouse that they could possibly be seeing themselves in the respawn screen quite a bit, especially if Grand Canyon took the opportunity to watch the stream and see what they're going to be going up against for this evening's games. And if that's the case, we did hear from Adverse that he has faith in his teammates to carry him on their backs while he's constantly respawning. So we'll have to see if that actually comes to fruition or if Adverse can just avoid getting demolished.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. The Grand Canyon University took on Coog Esports. Now, that was a 7-1 the first game, again, those best-of-3 series, and Grand Canyon University did win 2-0, but that second game, as we know, was 2-1, and it went down to overtime. That came off the back of a Houston team there, the Coog Esports squad. They came through and did get those demos in. Now, we saw Adverse doing the same thing, and the big question here is if Adverse and the rest of UTA really utilize these demos, especially early on in the game, will that have a negative effect on GCU? My bet is saying yes.
I think so, but they have to also make sure they're not putting themselves out of position because UTA is guilty of overcommitting in some situations, and that is how a couple goals got past them yesterday. Hopefully that doesn't happen today because we don't like seeing open goal opportunities.
especially these higher levels here. There's definitely opportunities for them, but will they be capitalized on? That's the real question here, and especially once teams are down that last 60 seconds or so. We saw multiple instances yesterday. Once we're going to see that timer hit about 60, especially if there's like a score difference of about 3 or so, then at the end of the day, what that simply means is one team just has to play keep away. Keep away is the game that we'll be playing with the stream, because we're going to have to go to a very short break. We'll be back with you guys. We're just getting games and whatnot set up. Unless, Nerdy Bird, you have something else for the good people before we go.
I have nothing else to add right now, so we'll be back in a little bit.
And we are back. The winners finals coming in here in just a little bit. Obviously, this is a double elimination bracket. So the loser of this will drop on down to play Arizona State. In the losers finals, the winner of that will be punching their ticket to the grand finals against the winner of this team, Nerdy Bird. Or winner of this match.
So it's going to be interesting, because if the one who does not come out on top of this game goes in and plays against Arizona and ends up winning that one, we'll just have to see another rematch between these teams in our championship match. But we'll have to see and wait until the end of this best of 5 to find out who will end up playing Arizona.
Yes, we will. If that's UTA, that'll be a rematch of our previous round as well. But let's go ahead. Yeah, that's I guess it's a new bracket, or new day, new stream. So introduce these teams again. I'll run through Grand Canyon University. That's Maple, a newer player, Blind Bandit, and Kaimana. This is a GCU squad that was playing with Syndril in Maple's place yesterday.
And for UTA, we've got Nava, Samba, and Adverse, the same 3 members that we saw yesterday, coming in hot yet again today. They had great synergy, so let's see if they can keep that up. We've got Adverse going forward right now with a little help from Samba. They'll spike the ball off the ceiling, but Maple elevates and misses it, and there'll be a shot on goal that's going to go a little bit too far to one side, so Kaimana has the opportunity to get it clear here.
Yeah, so an honest attempt, but this has really just been kind of a feeling out action so far. Best of 5 here. No real shots awarded on scores quite so far. There's just been a lot of back and forth and teams trying to maintain position in the opponent's defensive third.
Got Maple trying to get it clear. Samba grabs it off the ground, playing it off the wall to center it up off the back wall. Shot on goal from Adverse, and that'll be the first goal scored here. Taking a little bit over a minute 21 seconds, coming in at 91 kilometers per hour, still not touching that 117 kilometers per hour we got to see yesterday. So hopefully someone will just powerhouse a shot into the goal today and break that record as well.
Yes, absolutely. 117 kilometers per hour. Yes, that was the record yesterday. Definitely worth mentioning here, and something we'll continue to keep attention to. Maple with a solid centering attempt right here. Kaimana up top, Adverse cut over to the side. This is going to be UTA trying to bring this one out. Nava across the middle right here, loses control of it, and Maple has at least a solid shot attempt on there. Samba once again showing up on the defense. Who else but Samba? Adverse, though. Who else but Adverse?
Goal number 2 for Adverse, 31 seconds and 112 kilometers per hour. I think Adverse might have the stream going and might have heard me say something. Still got to get 5 more to, get equal to the record, but 6 more if you want to break it. Next 50-50, we have Kaimana getting the better of that touch.
3 minutes, 15 seconds up top. 2 scores on boards here for your UTA squad. Samba getting a little bit too far ahead of this one. Nava down bottom, and Kaimana with the epic save. Throw a halo on top of that one at the end. Blind Bandit hits this one. Now a solid pop out to the middle until Nava gets a hand on this one as well. Maple out. This has just been Grand Canyon University kind of with weaker defensive redirects on the outside after these rebounds come in. They really just need huge pop plays to get this out and away from their defensive third.
I'm noticing that
exactly what the doctor ordered.
GCU's spacing, especially on defense, is quite bunched up, so it's making it harder for them to create space and get easier clears. You got Kaimana trying to go forward with that, and Nava just comes in, pushing it forward, and Samba follows up with that rebound off the back wall to get goal number 3. We are almost at the halfway mark here in game 1.
Yeah, this is going to be UTA looking, they're putting a solid foot forward here on the new day, on the new stream, game number 2 of the Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup. We talked a little bit about prizing and what's at stake here earlier, Nerdy Bird. Not only will first place get that invite to that live event, that's May in Atlanta, people. All 4 games you see here today will be featured in that lane competition. And second place will also be getting themselves scholarship money. So first place getting themselves scholarship money and that invite to the live competition. Third place will get a solid clap on the back and a good job.
We've got Adverse spiking this ball down in the middle, but Kaimana read it. Nava trying to corral it off the wall. Unfortunately, will overdrive it. Shot on goal from Maple will go in. Finally, GCU has put one on the board. We've got just under 2 minutes remaining and a 2-goal score gap here. Still could go anyone's way, but as you mentioned earlier, the last 60 seconds of these games tend to really change the story, so we'll have to see how that goes.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Grand Canyon University proven this one is not done and dusted quite yet. Plenty of time to get 2 scores on boards, and that's just to tie it up. Overtime situations notwithstanding. Samba looking dangerous on the run in right here. Adverse pass back to Nava. Gets it out of the source of danger right there. Maintains control. Perfect pass into points. Love to see it. Back to the lineup here. Minute 46 seconds left. That's going to be Blind Bandit with a shank out to the left side. Maple trying to get up to this one. Can't quite. Defensive third for UTA, trying to bring it out. Nice pass attempt there. Kaimana gets a solid hit, and then a little bit of assistance from the opposite. So this is a technical own goal here, Nerdy Bird.
I need to see this replay because it looked like, okay, maybe there was a slight touch on that one, but there was someone near the goal. They unfortunately weren't in that goal cam there, and they had decided to rotate forward, leaving it wide open. That's an unfortunate situation to be in. Hopefully that can be rectified. However, now we are at 4-2 with a minute 26 seconds left. UTA looking to maintain their lead. They can maintain it if they just play keep away, but keep away for this amount of time is quite difficult.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Blind Bandit. A solid little opportunity earlier. Maple just a little bit too high. Samba was down low. If that was a higher shot, that'd have been a different story. And a third goal here for the GCU. Will line up afterwards with minute plus. That's a different storyline than what we're living in right now. Solid shot, and yet again, Maple putting in those sweet shots.
This was a complete overcommit here, unfortunately, for the side of UTA. 2 pushed forward to put pressure on the person with ball possession, and no one was waiting in the goal.
That was 119, by the way. That is our new fastest goal on stream. 119 kilometers per hour, people. Mark it down. Fantastic stuff. Maple, once again, really showing up for Grand Canyon University. It looked like they had to shake a little bit of rust off that first 90 seconds or so. Now everybody is just swinging for the fences on this one.
Maple was possibly the ace in the hole. They wanted to keep secret yesterday so that they could not be scouted. If that was a strategy, that was insanely smart and a big brain play coming out from GCU to keep them hidden until this evening.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting storyline. We'll investigate that one a little bit more, starting with the Missouri Baptist game, or later once this game does finish. 30 seconds left here. Still anybody's game. Blind Bandit, shank out to this right side right now. Kaimana picking up a big boost on his way to get this one up and over and in, down bottom. Maple, once again, is there. We were talking so much about Adverse, the Adverse effect. Who else but Adverse, right? This is Maple showing up in spades.
The ball going off the back wall where Samba was waiting. Adverse spikes out high. Blind Bandit rotating back towards the goal. The shot was too far to one side, but Adverse comes swooping in and gets goal number 5. 2 seconds left on the clock. I did not foresee there being 2 extra goals coming out from GCU on this first game here, so it's probably going to go in favor of UTA unless the gods of the game step in here.
It would require a pinch on the GCU side to get this ball going, like literally like 130 kilometers an hour or something like that, to score in while there's still like a second left on clock, and then you keep it aloft. Yeah, it just wasn't going to happen. You mentioned it. Let's talk about it a little bit more. The Maple effect, right? 2 goals from Maple. Kaimana obviously showing up a very good supportive position with the assist, with a save, with a shot on, and making in their own goal on this one. But GCU, let's examine how possible this would be, right? Maples was playing for Blind Bandit in the first game that Grand Canyon University had against Missouri Baptist, and that was a 4-5 overtime to start it out, right? Then Grand Canyon University absolutely shellacking in Game 2 to take that one and then tie it up for our first and only, unless I'm wrong, overtime, Game 3 situation, the best of 3s, right? And then another overtime situation for Grand Canyon University, 3-2 there. I kind of think that shows that this is a team that was really, really progressed from the beginning of this tournament into now.
Yeah, and they probably spent the last night possibly VOD reviewing, looking at how UTA likes to play and using it to their advantage going into this evening. Maple definitely is good at avoiding pressure and doing the give and the go in situations when they know that too many touches is going to result in possession loss for their side. If they can keep that up going into this next game, they have the opportunity to bring this back, but they definitely need to start on working on their spacing as well because they play bunched up on defense quite a bit.
Yeah, that they had plenty of time to kind of feel it out towards the beginning, 90 seconds of the last game. That opportunity is done. Once again, though, good people, dear viewer, this is a best of 5, not a best of 3. That is what we came accustomed to yesterday, and it's just, it's wrong in game. That happens. That is a solid shot from Samba. Adverse still there. Gonna be a double touch, but actually utilizes the boost to stay aloft right there as ball dropped a little bit faster than player hitbox did. Now that one getting away as well, and that's Grand Canyon University striking first.
And that is another example of UTA overcommitting on their aggressive pushes to get a goal-scoring opportunity, leaving goals wide open, and it's come back to bite them in the butt for at least the first 30 seconds of this round. It's easy to bring back one goal, but if they keep letting that happen, Maple's going to take advantage of it.
Maple's making Samba life flash for their eyes situation yet again, just firing one across the bow right there to start off an almost demo, and a fast one indeed. Blind Bandit up, rebound down, Adverse reads it, but that's K-Mana with the second for Grand Canyon University.
Read that one perfectly. Very hard to defend that when there's already pressure being put on the person who made the initial shot, and the goalkeepers decide to push forward, expecting that one to be cleared. Blind Bandit up 50-50 wins it, but in return, Nava takes them out. Maple dunking the ball down, playing it around one. Has the ball pushed a little bit too far forward, though, so Adverse gets a touch on it, plays it into the mid where Samba's waiting. Shot on goal, and it soars right in.
Yeah, a very, very clean play right here. Adverse,
Ooh,
perfect takeaway.
123.
We're setting records left, right, and center here, Nerdy Bird.
That is what I like to see.
It was 117 all day yesterday. First game on stream, we hit 119. Second game on stream, 123. Once again, literally breaking records, even if they're, 24-hour-old records, right?
It's okay. They were a record.
A record's a record. Adverse down bottom, Blind Bandit forcing hands right here. A demo is going to take one of the UTA members out for just a couple seconds. Up, and Maple has shown what they can do on offense, just barely doesn't get rewarded with a solid defensive stop here. This was incredibly close as well. Hit top bar, that's just a hard angle to read.
Both sides are very guilty of doing double commit pressure, and when you do that on defense or offense, it opens up opportunities for the other team. They really need to be communicating who's on who and when, and ensuring rotations are happening so that it's not as easy to score goals from just bad positioning and an open goal opportunity like that.
K-Mana demolished with a full boost in the tank as well. UTA kind of utilizing a couple of these demolition plays thus far. Well, both teams utilizing that. UTA utilizing the past 30 seconds or so. Adverse up top. There's a double touch. No, not going to happen down bottom. Once again, yeah, once is a coincidence, twice is a pattern, though. Adverse has simply not been able to get down to these balls after they've been setting themselves up for shots. That's the second time we've seen it on stream right now. This is a UTA squad that, this is Adverse. We've seen what they can do, right? These are not easy shots for anybody, but Adverse has shown that they have the skills to pay the bills when it comes to those kinds of shots.
Hopefully it's just a warm-up trend that we're noticing for Adverse, and they'll be able to get it rectified here very quickly, as we've got a little less than 2.5 minutes left here, tied to a side, so it still can go either way. However, UTA has one victory under their belt. They need another and plus one more in order to walk away with the win, but they're looking to get themselves a match point off this one.
Samba, left side. Soon enough, that fact will definitely be ringing a little bit louder in GCU's ears. 120 seconds with a no-score difference is plenty of time for anybody's game right here, but if they drop a second, that really will be kind of a lurking fact in the back of the minds of these players. Minute 55, K-Mana with the aerial right here, a little bit of flak attack up top. called an anti-aircraft gun or something, I don't know. Adverse flipping away again. That's going to be Samba setting this one up. Nobody's there! And as Samba rockets this one in after hitting side post with a slightly wayward shot.
That was honestly perfect from Samba.
Yeah, Adverse set this up all day long down bottom, bumping into not one but two different defenders. Adverse effect again showing up here offensively.
Down by 1. GCU looking to secure 1 more, if not 2, to come out on top. Definitely trying to just equal out this scoreboard so they do not allow UTA to end up at match point after this game. Nava, though, trying to increase that score gap, gets a shot on goal just a little bit too far even for the game to count it towards their score count there.
Yep, yeah, just a little bit too far. I mean, the game can be wonky without reward stuff. Right side. Hit out for right now. Adverse tries to cover this one, but some very quick passes there from GCU sets up what was an awesome offensive opportunity, but this is UTA. They are very, very good simply taking this ball away and stopping whatever offensive pressure he may have accumulated.
Ooh, Maple gets taken out by Nava. Kaimana dunks the ball down, but to Samba. Samba plays it around Blind Bandit. Has to play it around Maple as well. They do that. There's no one in front of them, and they carry the ball into the net, bringing their score up to 4. GCU hurting a little bit, down by 2, 49 seconds. They can do it, but it's going to be a little difficult.
Yeah, 2 scores separate GCU from a Game 2 loss that would put them on match point. Again, these best of 5s here within our, finals brackets, winners, semis, and grands, of course. 45 seconds to go. Maple, the rest of GCU not giving up yet. The reason, too, plenty of time to come back at this one. They've already shown that one. That was at least a dangerous look. Maple coming flying in, and good job paying attention to Nava, the defender, for this other GCU member. Kaimana is able to get a good hit off this left corner, but then pays for it with their car life for 3 seconds at least. Samba up top, and not gonna matter.
"21 seconds left on the clock. Can GCU close this gap in that amount of time? I do not think so.
It's a fair statement. It's a fair statement. We're looking at a UTA squad that has 10 scores across 2 games so far, and this one still has about 15 seconds left as of right now. Adverse and the rest of UTA have taken this game too. There is not enough time left to score thrice within left in here, even if this one goes in right now. It is not. Samba gets a little bit extra points in the end. UTA improves to a 2-0 run here in the winners bracket finals.
Looks like Adverse trying to go off the backboard play. The ball finally hits the ground. UTA walks away with the Game 2 win.
Yes, and that's going to be a more definitive win as well. GCU putting up the 2 scores here in game number 2, coming off of a game 1 loss where they lost 3-5. So we really need to see a lot more from GCU. They have it in the tank. Now it's just about utilizing it.
Shots on goal between the two teams pretty equal. I mean, both times, yes, UTA had slightly more. In the first game, it was 5 shots on goal for GCU, 7 for UTA. This time, it's 8-11. So Arlington has the slight advantage when it comes to shots on goal. However, GCU just needs to create more opportunities for themselves to do that. And I genuinely do think it comes down to their spacing, because it feels like a lot of the times we see them on defense, they can't get the ball out of the back third because they are too close together.
Yeah, at the end of the day, there's just these tiny little errors, just cleaning up the edges a little bit of some of these plays and overall gameplay communications and whatnot for GCU. This could very, very easily be a reverse sweep situation, Nerdy Bird. UTA is firing all cylinders right now, so at least a 3-1, I would really, really like to see that, if not like a full Game 5 set. But again, UTA really is looking impressive right now. As far as what to do, what could Grand Canyon University do to really bring this back? If there's one thing, you just flip it from 1 to 2 or 0-1 or X to Y or whatever else. What is it that Grand Canyon University needs to do in this Game 3 to try and bring this back?
They really okay. So it's kind of 2 things, but they play together. So I'm going to call it one thing. It's two-ish one things. It's a 1.1 and a 1.2. Their spacing needs to be worked out, but that spacing also needs to be playing in a formation that's similar to that of a triangle and taking advantage of as much space on this field as they possibly can, and not trying to be in the same 1/3 quadrant of the field in a linear stack like we've seen multiple times, or leaving the other team cherry picking in the back third on their own side of the field.
Yeah, that's Kaimana with a solid attempt right there, but Nava actually plays player and doesn't play the ball This is, again, just a very well-oiled UTA machine. They know that they can come forth here and just play player, nobody else is around, and they have faith in the teammates to be able to come forth at this, still get a play in, and that, I mean, and that one is, once defender is taken out, that's an easy shoe-in play, right? That's basically an open net.
Got Blind Bandit elevating with this ball, plays it over Adverse off the back wall, gets their own secondary follow-up, and Kaimana tries to come in, spikes it off the ceiling. Is there a tertiary touch? There is from Maple, but there is not a fourth to help out, so it does get cleared, and Samba's bringing it up the side where Blind Bandit tries to redirect it with some help from Kaimana.
Oh.
But that was towards their own goal, allowing Adverse to just spike that ball into the back of the net.
This is an attempted pass, I believe. Blind Bandit hits this off. Kaimana is trying to get that out to Maple, but this ball is simply coming way too fast. 130. Did my eyes deceiving? Did that say 137 kilometers per hour?
I'm pretty sure it did.
Yeah, so when the ball travels along the ground, obviously a lot faster than it does through the air for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I don't know about that one. Maybe there's like some top spin on it, a curveball. I don't know. I don't know baseball that well. 4 minutes and 8 seconds left at this one as Nava is trying to take the pass from Samba off his left corner. And this is still UTA in the offensive third. Tapped down. Both defenders are more preoccupied on that left side.
Both defenders were inside the net by the time Samba got this secondary touch there. You can't even push forward and stop that when your positioning is like that. And just stop double committing, please. You only need one person pressuring. The other person needs to be ready for the rebound.
Yeah, this is dangerous waters, dire straits, dangerous situations for your Grand Canyon University squad. Down 3-0, barely a minute into this one. And there's plenty of time to come back at this one. I hate to keep repeating myself. UTA looking fine as wine.
Got Kaimana getting a nice clear down here, but Nava, who is doing a fantastic job of playing patiently, waiting at the goal, gets a great clear all the way to the other side. Samba gets the ball stolen away by the Blind Bandit. They pass it to Maple. Maple plays it off the wall, but loses to Nava. Now we've got the ball on the side of UTA, but Samba gets an easy clear. Blind Bandit tries to stop it. It does go past them. Nava with a shot on goal. Follow-up touch from Samba. Finds its way in easily.
Yeah, this is UTA executing takeaway plays perfectly. Nava over. Nava realizes can't quite get there, and we see a 117 are tied for our original speed score from yesterday. Straight up passes and passes into points. GCU is playing the 100% offense right now. They're not worrying about playing a player on defense because they just need to outscore right now. That changed about 2-0 or so. And so, yeah, the third maybe, but the fourth really was just a result of basically very little defense because, again, they realize the situation that they are in. They will either lose to UT on points or they will lose to the clock at this point, Nerdy Bird.
I understand that, but the more that score gap increases, the harder it is. You need to still be playing defensively and keeping your eyes on the locations of the enemy team's players, giving them no pressure and allowing them to just capitalize on field space lets goals happen easier. So they got, yes, I understand needing to outscore them, but that you can't let the key core mechanics of this game run away from you in that process.
A crazy pinch right there. I can definitely agree, but I mean, score difference of 1, score difference of 4, score difference of 10. All be the same here. The end of this best of 5. If this goes UTA, we're not counting them out quite yet. Not counting out Grand Canyon University quite yet. Is just to borrow the term from yesterday, the Herculean effort required to bring this one back. A lot of passes and points. Again, increasing the number of passes and increasing the number of shots attempted. You know, a UTA is but a man, right? There's only 3 players on this team. UTA can bleed, just about making them do so.
Maple tries to play it around 1. The ball gets stalled out, allowing Kaimana to come in, play it off the ceiling, dunking it down on the ground. Fortunately for them, though, Samba will get the better touch off that bump from the ground. Nava gets another shot on goal, turned away by Maple, but the follow-up from Adverse can't be stopped, and Adverse finds their hat trick in this game.
Yeah, it's been dumped all into offense, but you made a great point. This one, this one, the score difference is looking insurmountable earlier and earlier now, the more points they put up. Grand Canyon University has time, but 105 seconds left means an average of, what, 21 seconds per?
Yes, I believe so. The math checks out in my head, but we're both a little tired. It happens.
It's fair. It's fair. Esports decrepit, right?
Yes.
30, mid-20s, correct?
Yeah, dead on,
yeah.
25.
There you go. There you go. Esports decrepit. 1 foot in the grave.
Adverse, great spike off the ceiling to maintain ball control there. Blind Bandit does get a save. It's still over here on the side of GCU. They need to find it clear if they want to start opening up goals. No! Stop! No! That goal was left wide open again. Nava capitalized on it, immediately seeing the opportunity. Down by 6 with 69 seconds left on the clock. I think this one is a little bit too difficult. However, GCU will not be out of it yet, even if UTA walks away with this victory. If they come out on top of Arizona State University in our second chance redemption arc bracket, they may come back and face GCU again in our championship, but only time will tell, and they'll have to be able to counter what is being thrown at them right now by UTA.
And it's worthy to note that this is the last non-elimination game. Loser of this still has an opportunity to play against Arizona State. That's Samba on the 7th.
And Samba gets their hat trick as well.
Yeah, Samba adverse, now Nava, the only player on UTA that has not gotten that. We saw a 5-3 scoreline, a relatively close game in game number 1 for UTA, a 5-2, a little bit less of a close scoreline for UTA in game 2, and now, again, just an absolute roll right now for this UTA squad.
And Mana getting a little physical there without using the demolition. We do see a slight double commit on the offense coming there from UTA. Does not get played against them. Clear comes out from a Blind Bandit into the corner. Blind Bandit tries to play around Adverse, but Nava comes in to help out Adverse. Adverse, though, again, colliding with Kaimana. Adverse playing around 1. Sends it to Samba. Blind Bandit, though, might be able to get a better touch on it. Maple finds the clear, but Nava takes out Maple in the process. Open net opportunity, but it's taken away by Adverse.
It might have been a lag in the UI, but I thought I saw 40 boosts left. This is Kaimana and the rest of GCU that would have liked one to go. Put in a doggy bag and take it with you on down to that loser's bracket. A 7-0 here, Nerdy Bird. That will be, yes, that will be our biggest score difference in the CECC Rocket League competition E so far.
It's quite the score differential. However, UTA, the one thing I do worry about is when you're firing on all cylinders for so long, and even if they won this one, but the championship means that they also will be moving into that with a 1-point advantage, so they'll have to play that out twice.
It's a very, very good point.
If they do lose the first one. So if they're firing on all cylinders from the very beginning, are they going to get mentally gassed by the time we hit the championship? And if so, is that going to impact their gameplay in any way, shape, or form? I certainly hope not. I hope they're drinking their water and standing up between these rounds so that they have an opportunity to relax, even if it's just a couple of seconds.
There you go. Good sleep, nutrition, good posture, hydration. All of these things are key. We'll find out a little bit more from the mind of a UTA player. A little post-game interview action coming at you here in just a minute. Nerdy Bird and FBI Tugboat back with you guys in just a little bit. And we're back. A little interview action post-game wise to get a bit of Nava's mind. Nava, you with us?
Yes, sir.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. Nerdy Bird, take it away, please.
All right, Nava. So yesterday we got the opportunity to interview one of your teammates, and we kind of heard that there's a tradition of bullying you a little bit before games start. Did that happen today too?
It might have. You know, I don't want to out any of my teammates, you know, because they're like my brothers. But you know, I think it's kind of a little team rapport. I can take it. I think I have a pretty good mental when it comes to, you know, like being confident and like keeping the team mental up. So, you know, if they just want to throw it on me, it's fine. I'll be there punching back.
Well, that's a genuine team player there. Nice job. Way to be able to handle it. I'm sorry. I had to know if you had to deal with that this morning.
Thank you for your concern.
I'm glad you're doing okay.
Yeah, but we're doing all right.
All right, so my next question is, you guys are in a very great position moving on to your next game. How do you feel it's going to turn out?
Hopefully like all the other games with the clean win.
All right, very confident. Love to hear that. All right, Tugboat, what else do you got for him?
Before my questions, I need to make it very clear the CECC does not promote any sort of online bullying in any way, shape, or form, unless it benefits the team in Rocket League.
There you go.
Benefited team, it has done definitively. Yeah, fantastic run so far. Nerdy Bird asked you guys about previous. I'm just going to take it to the numbers. You guys just 3-0 GCU and 3-5, 2-5, and 0-7 fashion. The last game of yesterday was a 2-1 and 6-1 against Arizona State. So perhaps that's just kind of setting the setting the stage here for a grand finals. Now, what does UTA do in these situations? Right, you just win the winners bracket. There's going to be a little bit of a break, and then grand finals. Are you guys getting food? Are you hydrating? Are you still grinding rank to try and stay hot? Are you watching games? Are you communicating with coaches and whatnot? What's going on? What's going through the minds of the UTA players right now and in the next 15 minutes or so?
Normally we try to stay pretty relaxed. We don't like to burn out too much playing ranked in between games. We either go get food or just I constantly hydrate, have water next to me while I'm playing and stuff. So hydration key as well. But I just ate myself before the game, so I'm gonna be chilling here probably just waiting for our next up. But as for the other homies, they could go get food or just relax. We just chatting there. If we did have any problems in game, we would probably talk it over. But I think that last series felt pretty clean, so pretty confident going into the next one.
Gotcha. Communication's key here, but Samba Adverse Nava, or excuse me, yeah, Samba and Adverse Nava here is saying that you're allowed to go get food. Okay, so no communications here needed. No more breakdown right there. You guys are golden. You guys can go. Nava, once again, thank you for kind of coming in and giving us a little slice of the mind of Nava here after your 3-0 victory in the winners bracket. Any shout outs that you have for us before we get you on out and we get our losers bracket finals going?
Yes, sir. Thanks so much for having me, by the way. But yeah, just shout out for y'all for hosting us, of course. Y'all doing a great job on the casting. And then shout out to teammates and coach. Coach not here at the moment, but big shout out to him because Adverse and Samba didn't shout him out. And then obviously to our families as well. But thank you so much.
Coach have a name or a tag?
Wi-Fi.
There you go. Coach Wi-Fi, big shout outs there to UTA. I'm sure he helps with y'all's connections. Way back to you guys. Grand finals, or no, excuse me, losers final situation. That is GCU and Arizona State. Nerdy Bird, do we have anything else for the good people, the dear viewers, before we do go?
I don't have anything further to add, but I'm going to piggyback off of Nava here and say maybe grab a snack and grab some water.
There you go. Hydrate.
Hey. Redemption arcs, they start and, in one team's case, end right here, Nerdy Bird. We got Grand Canyon University taking on Arizona State. This will be a best-of-5 showdown here in the Redemption bracket finals.
And both of these teams were put down into the redemption bracket by the UT Arlington team. So both are looking for their opportunity to come back and win the title championship against them. A lot of pressures on both these teams. I will take the opportunity now to introduce Arizona State's team. We've got Daddy, Collie, and Crimson coming in for their roster today.
Absolutely. Syndril, Blind Bandit, and Kaimana will make up your Grand Canyon University squad here for the grand finals. We've seen GCU play multiple different players so far. This is looking like a Arizona State's team that played Zippy in the Daddy X position. Obviously, Rocket League free to play now. Different players can have different tags. Well, I'm just reporting on the difference of tags. It could be a new player, who knows?
I think that's actually Xanthem, a player we did not see yesterday, but who is on their roster possibly, hence the X at the end of the name. It's just my best guess. We'll have to find out later. Possibly one of them in-game chat can let us know at some point. But for now, I'm just going to call them X.
Gotcha. So it is unlikely to be my father.
I think so. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate the clarification. 4 minutes left in this one or so. Kaimana, Blind Bandit, trying to combine right here, and this has been GCU on the right side, and that has just been doing everything in a bag of chips offensively to try and get something going. Collie and the rest of Arizona State giving them no quarter when it comes to them playing defense.
We've got X in the corner trying to corral this ball around, but with the help of Collie, it's going to be pushed away from Syndril. Now X taking it off the wall, plays it around one, but can't play it around the Blind Bandit, who gets a shot, but it's too far wide, and that goalpost is a saving grace.
3 minutes, 21 seconds, 3-2-1 up top. Speaking of saving graces, this is the GCU squad on defense looking for one of those their own now, as X did give it to him. It was a demolition in this case. And that's going to be an offense going the other way. Blue team, that is ASU, now on the defense for the time being.
Blind Bandit comes in to do a centering opportunity for a teammate, but it does get redirected. Syndrome pushing forward. Crimson has the ball. Unfortunately, it gets spiked off the ceiling by, I believe that was Kaimana there. Kali comes in to take the ball away from Blind Bandit, plays it off the wall, looking to give it to X. X plays it off the wall as well, but Kaimana gets in that passing lane, centering it up for Syndrome, who dunks it down. But Crimson reads it well, saves it, but the secondary touch and shot on goal cannot be stopped from Kaimana, bringing in our first goal of this game at 2 minutes and 30 seconds into the first round.
If you're ASU, that is the second shot being worse than the first. Always about lighting those up, rotations, and orbiting around this goalpost. Just waiting for the right player, for the right time, the right job. That's going to be GCU striking first. Again, in the redemption bracket, the finals here.
Got Blind Bandit elevating to get possession of this ball, passing it to Kaimana and moving into the center lane. X, though, gets it clear, getting it to Crimson. Crimson's unfortunate minor shot on goal will get turned away. Kali now is in front of anybody else here on the defending side, which is a great position, but they don't get possession on that ball first.
Back and forth on that bottom left is now ASU trying to take possession of this ball. X comes up to it, beats Kaimana there, and that's a huge hit the other way. That's decently centered, and meeting it there is Syndrome all day long. A big run the other side. Daddy X shaking this one left, so no offensive opportunities, and the respawn going to be coming in for both teams. Full 6 on the board right now after the demo. That was X again, just gets a front row seat to a ball that is just out of reach.
Syndrome trying to grab it off the wall, unfortunately can't get the better touch on it. X with a little bit of help from Crimson plays it around one, but then the follow-up touch from one of the GCU players gives an opportunity for a couple of seconds. Kali, though, trying to push forward. Back pass to Crimson, shot on goal, turned away by Kaimana.
Yeah, this is a lot of offensive pressure against GCU right now until Syndrome once again has something to say about it. Talk about getting these balls out of that dangerous bottom defensive third for GCU so far. Speaking of firing all cylinders, we were talking about UTA earlier. This is GCU putting a very solid foot forward here in game number 1. There's been a lot of offensive opportunities both ways. It's not like there's been entirely offensive pressure from one side. Taking a look at this, yeah, so 5 shots on goal to 3. That's still very, very evenly dispersed.
Right now, Kaimana is looking to try and get a goal-scoring opportunity, but the ball's already been sent to the back third of the field for the side of GCU. Gets cleared all the way over to Syndrome, whose shot on goal is a little bit too far to one side. Kaimana comes in for the follow-up. Again, that crossbar. Another shot on goal, spiked high before it can get within range of the goal to even be detected. Syndrome going for another shot on goal, gets turned away by Crimson. As it bounces off the ceiling, Kaimana tries to corral it. Blind Bandit comes in, but X will push it away.
Still, this is GCU keeping offensive third. If that drops, that'll be decently centered. Kaimana gets it there and stops it back to the middle. A shot up, but nothing offensive-wise right now. Volleyball in the don't let the ball touch the ground situation coming in just a second. Pop to the outside. Kali with a hit! Oh, but Kaimana is there and lets it touch down to the bottom. There was a defender on the other side, so this wasn't some kind of complete open net situation, Nerdy Bird, but a very, very close one comes down to the end right here with GCU barely taking this one by the skin of their teeth. 1-0 in game number 1. And
Arizona.
That is the first
sorry.
time we've seen that on broadcast. The 1-0, like the minimum score line. That's the first time we've seen that on broadcast for the CECC competition.
These teams, at least from what I'm noticing, are playing this game as though it's a game of mistakes, and they're waiting for the other side to make a mistake to capitalize on that opportunity, creating such a low-scoring scoreboard that we see here because both these teams are playing so cautiously. I love seeing it. It's a little less exciting, but it is a lot of technical gameplay happening from both these teams.
Very, very technical gameplay. If game 2 is going to be looking like game number 1, it'll be a very quick one. Yeah, I think that you never really appreciate just how quick a game of Rocket League can go until you see a 1-0 scoreline and you only pause the game one single time for that, 8 seconds or whatever it ends out to be. A very quick one goes the way of GCU, putting a foot forward. And I gotta say, putting up a goose egg in a game means so much less when it's 1-0, right? 2-0 is like, okay, that kind of sucks, for full on. Anything beyond that is kind of like very one-sided. But a 1-0, I can put up with that because that means it was stayed competitive to the very last second.
It's not only a 1-0, but it was also 4 shots on goal from ASU and GCU getting 7 shots on goal. So those are both pretty equal on opportunities to get those goals. And across the board, both teams have very equal skill here. Let's see if that is going to continue to be the story here. As Blind Bandit gets a shot.
What?
Oh, it was Syndrome who got a shot in. My apologies. Off the kickoff. What? How is that the angle?
Oh my God.
I hope you're going to school to be either a physics major, a math major, because, wow, that was calculated.
I'm not sure if geometry is the strong suit for the defenders right there. Okay, that looks like it was about to happen again, but the other way around. I was about to absolutely lose it, Dirty Bird. But yeah, so Blind Bandit comes into this. I honestly think that was a lot of times these situations are like, oh, well, was that a fake? Was that an honest shot on that just worked perfectly? I gotta say, just from stance, just from playing the game, just from commentating, seeing, knowing Rocket League pretty well, I honestly think the Blind Bandit meant to hit that and missed. It doesn't matter, though, when you have members on the other side that were anticipating to hit so much, they both bite down on this so much. That's the first goal for GCU. This is how the first game ended, and it took, what, 3 minutes just to get to the scoreline?
Yeah, it took quite some time, and we could see that scoreline not budge for another 3 minutes or so here, because there's some great passing happening. Both teams getting in each other's passing lanes, getting the ball away, trying to open up the field.
Holy!
But that clear right there from Crimson, holy cow!
Let's get it. 140, I knew it. Was this a pinch? Oh, that was a pinch! So that was technically both cars meeting there. They meet at the exact perfect time, and obviously the space in between is where all of that power does go for them. That was like 2/3 pitch and still ended at 140. That's going to be our fastest. And I don't know, Nerdy Bird, we have shied away from making predictions, but 140 is hands down going to be the fastest goal in this competition. Kali has dropped, that was 1-1, and that happened about 4 minutes or so. So just a record for the broadcast here. Obviously, they will not play out this game completely, guys. Don't worry. They will not play this game.
We do not have the tournament rule of once the first goal is scored, the game continues. We are a little bit nicer than that. Waiting on Collie to reconnect here, I believe, or we have to play out this series and then just start it over again, as we do have another goal being scored.
Let's check out what we're saying over here in live chat. Main X Anthem is pronounced Anthem. Did I say that wrong? Okay, I appreciate you, Geek. Again, they are figuring this out. This will not be played all the way out. At least I can imagine. I did not memorize the technical error or rules within that. They are asking for. I have to restart match. Okay, I can do that. How am I supposed to? Okay, no, you're telling me they're restarting match. You're not asking me to restart the match myself. I get it. It just takes me a little while. I might be a communicator for a living here, people, but that doesn't mean I'm very good at it.
I completely understand. And you can see up in our upper left corner there that we do have our production staff getting right on top of everything. They will get stuff rectified. We've got 2 minutes and 39 seconds here, but I do believe that it has been decided we will restart this one, correct? Yep.
Yes. Yep. That's what players are calling for. That was Collie that dropped out, and we'll start this one back on in there. Again, the scoreline was 1-1 with 4 minutes left when player dropped, so I'm not 100% sure if that's what we'll resume it at. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a very short break. We're going to get this mess ahead of us figured out here. No teams are eliminated from this. No GCU isn't going to take an advantage from the player that dropped and whatnot. Just cool your jets, people. Cool your jets. I can only imagine what Twitch chat looks like right now. That was 1-1 with 4 minutes left. We'll get the results and everything else wise there figured out while we go to a very short break. All right, dear viewer, we got the results for you. GCU struck first in game one, and that is done and dusted. We're back to a true new. I'm just kidding. The fact that it was 1-1 with 4 minutes left means that these teams are just fully resetting. GCU is up one in the series. That result from the first game of this best of 5 not affected whatsoever. We're just back to a true neutral situation here in game 2. Once again, GCU up 1-0 in the series. Nerdy Bird.
Yes, and if we do have another disconnect during this game, the remainder of this 5-minute game will play out, and hopefully that player will be able to reconnect during that game or at the start of the 3rd round. We do have Collie back in at full strength, so hopefully their internet and their Wi-Fi helps them out in this game and does not choose to disconnect them. Syndrome now trying to corral this ball around Crimson in the corner, does get cleared, but Blind Bandit waiting down at that back third, sends it to Collie, unfortunately for them, and Collie on the redemption arc, saying, I'm sorry I left the game, my friends. I will make up for it, scoring the first goal of this round.
Not just the first goal of this round, of course, but the first goal for Arizona State in this matchup, right? Like, but round, I guess that's what you meant, right? So this game and the previous minute and the first game, Arizona State had not put one up yet, and that's their first.
Got Kaimana now in the corner trying to play it around. That is Xanthem, correct? We got confirmation that Daddy X is Xanthem.
That's what they meant. That's what they did. Daddy X, Anthem, got it. And of course, like, DX just playing in for the letter right there. Classic gamer stuff. Classic gamer stuff. Black Bandit out, or Black Bandit, Blind Bandit out to the left side right here. Picking that one up. Nice shank onto this right side, and that's not going to be enough. Syndrome putting this one in for a tying factor for GCU.
We're almost back to exactly where we were when we had that disconnect issue, so it took a little bit longer to get this score to 1-1, about 21 extra seconds than the last time, but almost the exact same story from this point onward. And now a brand new one can be written from this point as we have Blind Bandit elevating with that ball, playing it to Kaimana off the wall. Unfortunately, it was a little too far forward, so Kaimana will lose it, and Anthem will be up in the air trying to drag it down past Syndrome, but Syndrome collides with them in mid-flight.
What a save! Crimson RL coming through and using this top post to rocket this ball against some fantastic stuff, and just like that, your Arizona State University Cardinals on a run for a little while. Now back on the defense. They are the Cardinals, right?
I believe so.
Go ahead, I'll look it up.
All right, we've got Blind Bandit trying to pop it up over one. It does get saved by the crossbar, but I'll say Collie helped that one out as well. Collie now playing it off that back corner. Blind Bandit challenging them for possession. Anthem gets the clear, goes to the midfield. Crimson trying to race any of the ASU players GCU players to that ball. Spikes it into the mid. Collie overdrives it, now going all the way back towards the side of ASU.
Huge clears here for the side of GCU in the orange. That has started an offensive push for the ages, burning everything there. Kaimana gets past some. Blind Bandit trying to get into this one, but just gets met there and instantly packed right in the face. Nothing happening. This is an Arizona State University defense firing on all cylinders. By the way, Cardinals, I was thinking... I'm sorry? Sun Devils, yeah.
You were thinking baseball, weren't you?
Well, I guess Arizona Cardinals is what I was thinking about. Like the NFL team.
Ah, I gotcha. All right.
Classic dude stuff. 2 minutes, 12 seconds. 2-1 here for Arizona State to GCU. And this is still anybody's game.
Gonna go for that 50-50. Blind Bandit with the better touch. It goes to the wall. Crimson, though, leaves it for Collie. Collie gets it around one. Has it in the corner here. Has to beat all the GCU players to it. Centered up to Anthem. Anthem! Ooh! Finds the back of the net. And we were at 3-1, ASU in the lead, trying to get into equalizer position with GCU so that GCU does not end up at match point at the end of this round, at the end of this game.
Yep, I hear you. I hear you. Arizona State, at this point, plenty of time left. This is a classic 2-minute drill. You got down by 2 minutes left. What do? This is where your offensive plans have to change a little bit, and you got to pour a little more into that offensive third. Defensive-wise, still got to show up there, because like we were talking about earlier, do not want to make this lead insurmountable. 100 seconds left or so. A weaker hit from Blind Bandit. That's going to get easily taken out by Crimson. Collie now over. Blind Bandit a shank away for the change of possession. That's going to pay off so far. Kaimana, stop play against Crimson right here as Bandit now taking this one off the side. Pass coming in for a middled shot. That was Syndrome and teammate both there. And now everybody's got to beat feet back to get on the defense.
Syndrome bringing it up the side, plays it around one, but can't play it around Collie. Collie now pops it up, elevates. Kaimana gets a touch on it, though. Anthem sends it towards the goal. Syndrome elevates to send it off to one side, where Anthem's waiting to get the rebound. Spiked up, still in the back third. Collie trying to keep this push alive. Off the back wall, is there a rebound touch? There's not. As the clear gets found, Blind Bandit dunks it down, but it's saved by Anthem.
a fake there. Might have actually purchased payload right there, because this ball was kind of shanked down bottom left, defender's top right, and that actually hit it again to redirect it top right. I don't know, maybe it was a mental play. Who knows? Still 40 seconds left here. Score difference of 2 hasn't changed in a little while now. Arizona State not out of this one quite yet, but they lose this, they're then on match point, Nerdy Bird.
Match point, but hopefully it does not put too much pressure on them, as you always got to treat every game as being 0-0, otherwise your mental could start to get a little bit too tilted. We are at that less than 20 second mark now. 10 seconds per goal seems borderline impossible for GCU to be able to swing this one in their favor. Central gets taken out by Collie. Anthem going for another shot. Unfortunately, the follow-up touch from Crimson's a little bit too high, but they are in the lead by 2. 0 seconds left on the clock. Ball touches the ground. That's end of round 2, and we'll be tied 1-aside as far as the series goes.
That's going to be it. ASU striking back here. And like we said, we have not gotten many non-2-0, non-3-0 sweeps thus far. We started off our broadcast with that one, and that was, of course, oh yeah, that was Grand Canyon University. Yeah, Grand Canyon University. So Grand Canyon University, not strangers to the extra Rocket League played. We'll be henceforth guaranteed ourselves at least 2 more games of Rocket League after the tying factor here. But GCU with 1 in the first game, that's enough to take the W. GCU with 1 in the second game, that's going to be not enough to tie up the 3 scores put in from Arizona State once they finally got their offensive firing and really just racketing up these. That's 10 total shots versus 6? Okay, so not a huge difference there.
Not a huge difference, but unfortunately, I think that disconnect and reset for this round might have offset GCU's rhythm just a little bit. Technical difficulties are things we have to deal with here within the realm of esports. If technology exists, odds are something can go wrong, and it does seem to always happen at least once per tournament, if not more, and in those cases, it can really shake up some players, even if it wasn't them directly that it was impacting. Just throwing off rhythm is enough to cause a ripple effect in some cases, but GCU still has the opportunity to bring this back in their favor. Tied 1 aside, it can go any direction here. We're back basically to a best-of-3 series.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We've seen plenty of these, right? So no unfamiliar territory here for FBI Tugboat and Nerdy Bird. This is the 3rd round of at least 4 for the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup, and you guys are watching the GCU Grand Canyon University take on the Arizona State University Sun Devils. Not the Cardinals, the Sun Devils.
I was even wrong. Arizona baseball's the Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah, I might have known that. That might have been some fact lurking in dark, dank, dusty parts of my mind that sounds like it's new, but I feel like it's not. I don't know.
All right, Blind Bandit can't play it around Crimson. Collie comes in for the shot. The follow-up from Crimson. Some awkward pinball off that back wall, but Crimson had no pressure, so it's okay. You can probably see it here in this replay. Collie drops it, but then Crimson once, twice, and then it goes in. Yeah, the wall played a rebound for him. We'll double touch. It's okay. It was really just kind of one.
There you go. Yeah, the 4th player showing up here for your Arizona State University squad. Love to see it. K-Mana, down bottom. That is the closest we have seen all 3 Arizona State University members so far in this matchup and possibly in this broadcast from yesterday and today. That is the picture-perfect situations they get taken advantage of all day long and get points on. That is not what Arizona State can do at a bare 1-0 lead.
Maintaining your core mechanics of Rocket League is very important, such as the spacing, rotating the back post quickly, and avoiding demos, possibly resource starving, something we haven't touched on quite a bit, but getting those boosts when you're on the other team side of the field and just setting them down to 0 can make it very difficult for them to surmount a comeback or even take advantage of any clears that they have. It does look like GCU is getting bunched up quite a bit, so they need to start spreading out if they want to start capitalizing on field space.
Shank out to the middle right here. Capitalization on field space indeed, as Daddy's Anthem now bringing this one out. Crimson, RL coming up to it. Collie actually tapping onto the back of Crimson right there, so maybe a little bit of a back and forth, but Collie with a solid stop. This looked like it was going the other way, and that was just a situation we no longer find ourselves in. Arizona State University in the offensive 3rd. Anthem down off the bottom, and Syndril is there to meet it and send it flying the other way. Crimson still keeping the offensive alive though, Nerdy.
almost touches the ceiling to drop back down to Crimson. I think that was the intent there. Anthem comes in to drop it towards the net, spiked back. The volley gets returned by Crimson again. Kaimana at the mid sends it to the side where Anthem's waiting. Now Blind Bandit goes for a centering opportunity off the back wall. This follow touch from Kaimana, that cannot be blocked. And with that, we are tied 1 aside. 2 minutes, 38 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, this rebound not really played. Collie tries to get up to this one, but this flower just doesn't bloom. That's a tied-up situation just outside halftime. 8 seconds away to be exact, here between GCU and Arizona State in the Redemption Bracket Finals.
Collie and Kaimana battle out for the ball. Kaimana ends up with it on the ground, sends it to the mid. Syndrel sends it to the back corner. Crimson, though, is waiting there, plays it off the wall, has an opportunity to send it to Collie or send it to Anthem because they have double pressure on them. Collie comes in to help out, spikes it up, plays it around them, grabs it off the wall, but Syndrel read it well, playing it to the other side of the field. Unfortunately, off that wall touch, though, can't regain the possession. Anthem gets possession for a few moments. Collie now bringing it through the midfield stripe.
Yeah, that was a fantastic attempt at bringing this one to midfield and beyond. GCU just needs to connect a little bit more on these passes, and I guarantee those will turn into points and scores on boards. Double up situation over on this right side right now. A takeaway from Central leads to a double up situation in front of this goal. Arizona State, I keep saying they're going to bite the bullet for it, and it keeps not happening.
Tied 1 aside, it seems like the teams are getting a little bit hesitant to even try and take advantage of some blatant mistakes that are occurring. It could be that they are not willing to risk putting themselves in bad positions as well. A little under 90 seconds, basically at 0-0. Could see an overtime here, which would make me very excited, but it could make these players very mentally exhausted. So someone needs to get a goal here if they're looking to not start feeling extremely tired by the time we go into the championship rounds here.
I hear you. I'm a bit mystified, Nerdy Bird. We've seen Grand Canyon University double up or even triple up in their score box and then not turn around and bite them behind. On the other side, we have seen Arizona play 0 players in front of their goal box, and still no more scores on boards. I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. This is I'm mystified here. 2 very, very different looks, we'll say.
It's working out somehow for both teams. I won't question it, because once I start questioning things, that's when the logic starts to kick in and things start to go wrong for somebody. So far, though, 37 seconds left on the clock. Still, no one has found the opportunity to find that goal. Both teams definitely waiting for what they'd probably consider the perfect opportunity to get a shot in. We have Crimson almost getting one. Syndrel sending it to the side, playing it off the wall to themselves, centering it up for a teammate, but no teammate is there as they've all rotated back towards the goal. Collie's shot on goal turned away by Kaimana. Syndrel now pushing forward, plays it into the corner. Xanthem's putting pressure on them, as is Collie. We could already see the rotations come out from GCU, and we have now 10-second mark. Anthem going to drag this ball into the goal, and it does not work out. We could go into overtime for the first time today.
Last bounce here. Syndrel and the rest of GCU have a solid shot. That's just a little bit too high, and yes, to overtime we go. Winner or loser of this doesn't matter. We'll still get a game number 4, but it'll be so interesting to see who takes the lead here in our Redemption Bracket Finals.
Definitely want to see this overtime rounded out quickly, because if these teams continue to play like they did in this game, playing that very hesitant and cautious game of the stakes, never mind, Crimson is going to tell me to eat my words and to shut the heck up, because they had full intent on scoring that gosh darn goal, and it only took 14 seconds. Nicely done. Arizona State walks away with this round win.
Unless I have missed a game here, we have 4 total games going down to in-game overtimes. The score, or the time clock up top hitting 0-0, and it going down to formal overtime situations after that. Now we have been guaranteed that situation here again, Nerdy Bird, and I am all here for it. Game number 4, and possibly the last. Grand Canyon University strikes back here, game 4. We're going the absolute distance.
I want to go to the distance. I just like Hercules personally, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're here for the players, and ultimately this next game will decide. So far, these games have been very equally matched. I mean, first game 4 shots to 7 shots on goal, then 10-6, and this last one 4-5, and marginal goal differences on both sides. Nothing more than a 2-goal lead. That was game 2 with a 3-1 in ASU's favor. So I can't make a prediction nor guess on how this next one's going to go, especially if these teams play as cautiously as they did in this one.
Yeah, talking about score differences here, The simple fact of the matter is the lowest score difference can be equal to, but never less than, the number of games. We have a 4 total score difference here between 3 games, meaning that this has just been incredibly, incredibly close. About numerically as close as it can physically get, dear viewer. Let's check out game number 4 and see how this one goes. Again, Grand Canyon University strikes back. Will be going the absolute distance. I think they have the skills to pay the bills here. Nerdy Bird is just about executing. It's just literally what we were talking about earlier in the UTA game. Cleaning up these edges a little bit more and get these passes going.
We do see Collie get demoed immediately by Syndril, trying to get just a little bit more of a field opportunity for the other team. Xanthem crawling this ball in the corner, plays it around one, but can't play it around the other. Kaimana goes for the clear, goes into the other side of the back third, into the corner. Collie pushing forward across the midfield, gets too many touches, loses possession to Blind Bandit though. Xanthem comes in, shot on goal. Kaimana gets it touched just high enough to help have that crossbar help them out.
Ooh, this might have been an own goal here. Let's check out the replay. Don't want to call it quite yet. Just puts
Collie
up and over. Yep, Bandit actually hit that one in. I think that might have been going in regardless, not 100% sure, but Bandit did actually get the last, and that wasn't just a bare touch either. That was like, you know, that clearly redirected the trajectory of the ball. It redirected the trajectory and the geometry of the ball there, Nerdy Bird.
I think it was going to go in either way. That's what I'm going to say, especially because you got to make sure that when accidents happen, you keep your head up and held high. And we know Blind Bandit can score anyway. They're a great, fantastic offensive player. They just need to get the opportunity to do so. So perhaps their team can let Blind Bandit come out of this back third as they are playing defense very well, but facilitate them to go on a goal-scoring opportunity and redeem themselves from that one oopsie they just had.
Yep. Blind Bandit, nice takeaway here across the middle. Syndril meeting Anthem up top. And that's going to be Crimson bounce play here. And the highest score difference between these two teams has just been attained at 1 minute and 5 seconds into this one. I think ASU might have put something else, higher octane gasoline in the tank or something, because they are doing very well here in the first 20% of this Game 4 bracket. Or what? Redemption bracket finals.
I think maybe Collie on the disconnect decided to stop using Wi-Fi and switched over to Ethernet, and that's making all the difference for them. The spacing for ASU has been perfect, but we might have just seen an own goal from a Blind Bandit's initial shot, actually. So there's the favor being returned in spades. Blind Bandit gets a touch here. Then it looks like Crimson gets one, and that actually, I feel like that one might have been completely wide of the goal had Crimson not touched it.
Yeah, that 100% would have been wide of the goal. 122 kilometers per hour. Hey, at least it was fast, right?
Yeah.
Back on down here. Minor mistakes yielding several different points so far. What? Yeah, there's actually, yeah, that's an interesting stat, right? 3 scores on this one. 2 of them have been put in by their own team.
Well, I mean, it's Rocket League. It can happen.
This is true. This is true. Well, let's see if that trend continues. I cannot imagine, honestly, that it is. But what I can imagine, this might be a little bit the effect of nerves. Bringing it back out now. Crimson, pop play over. Collie trying to meet it there. Doesn't quite get it going. Solid rebound as Anthem puts this one rocking into the middle. And Bandit is there. Nice stop, though.
I don't even know how Collie got back there.
It was looking like it was pretty open right there, but yeah, everybody getting there, seeming like breaking space and time to do so.
Crimson with the ball here, has pressure being put on them. Blind Bandit comes in from the mid, gets a touch, shot on goal, turned away by Xanthem. Syndril backpedal. Nice bicycle to send it to a teammate. Blind Bandit off the wall, loses possession to Crimson though. Syndril centering it up. Anthem though beats any of their teammates to the ball. Kaimana spiking it to the ceiling again.
Right side. Hit up, Blind Bandit, solid centering effect, and then once again, double up situation from GCU. This one time on the offense, Kaimana in, and Crimson, we get a front row seat to that block.
Blind Bandit already rotated back to the defensive back post, gets the clear at the midfield. Collie tries to go for the volley return, but it does not get enough momentum going forward. Xanthem goes for the volley all the way across. Blind Bandit rotating back, grabbing it off the wall. It does ricochet a couple times off a few players, but Blind Bandit now loses possession to Collie, who sends it to Kaimana.
Collie trying to thread the needle over on this left side. That's going to be a nice hit from Crimson, though. Read the offense very well, though. This defense did. Still an offensive opportunity here. A rollout. Collie, assuming this one was rolling forward, had to slam the brakes, hit in reverse for a second, look over the shoulder and hit this ball out just like that. GCU now assuming the defensive position. Never mind. Back on out to ASU. Daddy Anthem left looking down bottom. Collie, huge hit out right here, but Central trying to keep this offensive pressure alive and well.
Anthem gets the clear, but it's returned right before it crosses that back thirds mark of the field. Now ball in the corner. Central tries to play it around Collie. Can't do it though. A little bit of help from Blind Bandit. They spike it up over one. Have to play it around another, but it does look like Crimson will be able to drop the ball down. Now colliding with one of the GCU players, is not being able to maintain a lot of possession, but finally Anthem gets the clear. Honestly, I think if GCU wants to get that extra goal, they need to get a little physical here and just completely demo one, if not two players on GCU and score immediately thereafter to make this feat of getting this ball in the goal much easier for them. But we'll see if they can manage to do that as we are now at that 25-second mark.
Ooh, a bare hit over the side. That was almost it right now. A score difference of one. That would have put this game away, and then just try it twice. The second time nicer than the first. 3-1 lead now for your Arizona State University squad. This is the Sun Devils showing up in the possible last game of this redemption bracket finals. A 2-score difference means the GCU has to score once in 15 seconds or so and then keep ball aloft on the second, or score very, very quickly and then have a little bit of time to play with down bottom and to bounce this ball against ground before the score this time hits 0.
Kaimana with Blind Bandit going to try and find that off the backboard touch, but unfortunately for Kaimana, one of the Arizona State players beat them to that touch. And with that, ASU walks away with our redemption bracket victory. Congratulations, ASU.
Congratulations, ASU, indeed. Punching their ticket now to the grand finals means, of course, at least some scholarship dollars going to be going their way here at the CECC Southwest Invitational. Now, first place getting themselves an invite to a little bit of live competition here. Looking nice down there in Atlanta. But first, we got to get the grand finals going. And first, before that, a little interview action coming at you. Short break. Back with you guys in a second. And we are back. FBI Tugboat Nerdy Bird here with Anthem from this Arizona State University squad to come on in and give us a minute of their time after the game. Anthem, you with us?
Yes. How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Congratulations on your victory. Nerdy Bird, take it away.
All right, so I've been calling our second chance bracket, our redemption bracket. You guys were dropped down in there by Arlington, and now we're gonna have the opportunity to go against them again. Are you hoping to get some revenge?
Oh, 100%. It's gonna be a little different this time. So all I can say is be ready.
I mean, I can give you some quick stats. In that last game in total, you guys had 28 shots on goal, and in Arlington's last game, they only put 38 shots in on goal themselves. And across the board, as far as scores go, you guys scored 8 in total. They scored 17 in total. So it's going to be a little bit difficult if you let them have those goal-scoring opportunities, but if you guys shut them down, you might have a chance.
Yeah, so we're actually gonna whip. So we have something in our back pockets. It's a surprise attack that they're not ready for. So we're just gonna hit it with them, and you guys are definitely gonna see a good game at least. So
I am very excited to see that. Tugboat, do you have any other questions for them?
Well, exciting words. We'll get this started in just a second. Just one question here for you. Nava, Samba, Adverse, if you had to shut down one of these players, if that's part of your game plan, don't tell me, but if you had to shut down one of those players, which are you going for?
That's so tough because honestly, I haven't played against them in such a long time. I'm not going to tell you right now because it is part of the game plan. Actually, we have 2 in mind, so we're gonna shut down 2 of them.
There you go.
All right.
No strats leaked here.
We'll let you keep your secrets for now.
All right.
There you go. Thanks again for coming in and give us a minute of your time after the game there, Anthem. Got any shout-outs before we get you out of here and grand final started?
Yeah, well, I just want to say, first of all, thank you guys so much for having me. And I want to shout out my old roommate who's actually letting me use his computer because at home I have the worst internet in the world. So I'm actually on his setup on a whole different thing. But you know, hey, we're making it work. So shout out to all the teammates, shout out to the coordinators, shout out to him as well. Shout out to the parents, and just shout out to everyone in the community. So thank you so much.
There you go. There you go. A blossoming fountain of positivity Anthem has been. We appreciate that. Grand final starting here in just a second. We'll be back with you guys in a minute to get that one set up for the culmination here of the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup. Hello and welcome back. The grand finals starting in just a minute here. FBI Tugboat and Nerdy Bird bringing it to you. This is Arizona State coming in from the lower redemption bracket, and UTA, that's the University of Texas Arlington, coming on in from the winners bracket. Just like our standard double elimination rules, the team from the winners bracket has to be defeated in a full best-of-5 bracket first to then reset and go back to a true neutral. So Arizona State coming in at this one, a little bit of a deficit, but not an insurmountable one by any means, Nerdy.
Yes, but I hope they are prepared for a long run to the finish line because they did not get a break, whereas UTA had a little bit of extra time and got to relax for a few extra moments. But ASU says they have a trick up their sleeve, an ace in their pocket, so to speak, that they intend on pulling out against UTA. So we'll see if they're able to survive this first best of 5 and take us into a second best of 5.
A little bit of a feeling out action as of right now. Both teams just kind of seeing what the others are made out of. This is standard stuff in the first game of best of 5, and UTA again having a little bit more time to work with right there. First solid shot, Nava covers it up on the rebound and rails this one in 30 seconds in.
We asked Anthem who they would shut down if they could shut anybody down. We got no clear answer. We'll see if if we can start seeing the answer in these next couple of minutes, though.
Yeah, what was the other answer? We've been asking players all tournament long about what they do preparation-wise, and there was the one team that said they just go forth and play a whole bunch of ranked beforehand. If they lose those games, then they get it out of their system. And it's only winning for them after that. See if either of these teams can have that mentality. We got to talk with one of these players from Arizona State earlier. It was a little bit of a different look. Adverse on board with right now. Nava puts this one up. A rotation comes in, and it looked like some bullying pressure coming in against Crimson from them at the other side, but that is over and done with. Adverse back out to the middle, covering this one up with a solid shot in. Was another member in Crimson shanks this out.
We have Collie elevating to get a touch on that ball. Adverse dunks it down. Anthem read it well. It does get redirected to the other side of the field in the back third. Crimson trying to corral it. Has to play it around Adverse and has to play it around Nava. Adverse gets taken out. Nava, though, dunks it down, sends it to Adverse, who's respawned just in time to bring it up the side.
Yeah, perfect positioning right here. A little tidbit of information. The only true random thing in the great game of Rocket League is which side do you spawn on. It's an even 50-50 chance on that one. That's going to be coming out for Adverse because he really did spawn in like pretty much as accurately as possible for that ball to be defended and collected out. Back on over to the middle. A lot of middling action so far as both of these teams, again, there's no clear lead here. Only 1-0 advantage right now for the side of UTA.
We have Samba trying to get it clear into the back corner. Anthem tries to get around Nava. Nava gets a slight touch, allowing Samba to get a follow-up touch. It's in the corner where Crimson has to play it around Adverse. They get it around them, but they can't get it around Samba. Centers it up for Nava. Nava goes for the shot. It's sent away before it hits the back third by Collie.
Stopped right there. Samba now going a little bit of a run, but not a whole lot of boost to be spoken of. A solid shot attempt and still forcing the hand of the defense is never a bad move, especially when they're up at the advantage. As we see, yeah, I think that was Crimson on the other side that's trying to get a little bump and grind going. Perhaps that's part of that master game plan that they were speaking to, alluding to in that post-game interview previously.
Perhaps. I haven't exactly seen what I would consider a secret weapon or plan of attack thus far coming out from ASU. At least not blatantly obvious just yet. Perhaps that's their intent to keep it subtle. Got 2 minutes left on the clock, roughly. Only a 1-score differential. Currently, UTA up by 1. Pretty equal on both sides thus far, though.
Equal indeed. Round and round we go. Where we stop, nobody really knows. 100 seconds left and still anybody's game. We've only gotten 1-0-1, the lowest scored total that a game can result in so far. That was the first game between GCU and Arizona State. This scoreline stays the same here. Next 90 seconds, we'll see that not happen twice in 2 matches. Crimson, big boost over onto the side. Nava putting this one up, and Samba trying to meet him there. Solid shot up. Anthem cannot quite get this one out. 4th shot attempt here for Samba. And that is going to be the... There we go. 7th shot attempted here for UTA. Only 1 on the other side for ASU.
50-50 goes in favor of ASU. However, Nava grabs it off the back wall, spikes it off the ceiling. Collie gets in there, sending it to one side away from Adverse. Anthem comes in. Secondary touch from Crimson does get turned away, but now UTA is bunched up a bit. They find the clear from Nava. Adverse pushing forward, plays it around 1. It goes into the corner. Crimson gets in there to spike it up to just stop that forward momentum. Adverse trying to go for the secondary and tertiary touches to find the goal. But Samba, another touch off that backboard. Still no one to follow up. Crimson now looking for the clear.
I gotta say, this is UTA that has had so much more value taken from these rebounds off backboard. The simple fact that this Arizona State University squad can make that a non-factor so far is fantastic. Back and forth, rattling against this bottom post. Now that's a pass. Anthem, a solid redirect, but not going to be enough to get this angled into this goalpost. Still searching for the first is Arizona State University.
Ball drops off the ceiling. Crimson grabs it. It's in the air, but Nava spikes it up. Just looking for one possibly buzzer beater goal here for ASU to not end this round with a goose egg. 2-0, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Ball hits the ground, and that's the end of this first round. Can it stay up? Looks like even Samba's trying to keep it alive. It gets spiked up by Anthem. Dragging it to the goal, spiked up again. Nava gets the clear. Collie goes for another spike. It's going to hit off the ceiling. That might mean it will touch the ground, and it does.
That's going to be UTA striking first in 2-0 fashion. And here in game number 1 of this grand finals, yet again, dear viewer, that is, that's UTA coming in from the loser or from the winner's bracket here, and so a full bracket reset against them, making this one just so much harder for ASU.
We can't count ASU out just yet, though. This is, after all, a best of 5, a 2-goal differential. I mean, yes, 2-0 is not always the best position you want to, not the best score you want to be seeing, but there's still plenty of time left for ASU to start bringing this back. Their first game, when they were down in our redemption bracket, went similar to this as well, and then they came back full throttle. Everything went perfectly. It's like the well-oiled machine, and they won heavy-handedly against Arizona State. So, sorry, my apologies, against Grand Canyon University. So let's see if ASU can begin their comeback right now, as that 50-50 goes in favor of UTA. The volleys return. Adverse spikes it off the ceiling, going for an aerial play, centering it up for a teammate, but none of those teammates are there. Off the back wall, Samba now trying to crowd in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough task and a difficult ask for any team present. Just flipping through our match results so far, yes, that is confirmed. UTA has not dropped a game. They have gotten scored against, of course, but they have not dropped a game in this Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup Southwest Invitational. Not happened yet, but again, not over with. Just going to take a lot of effort here. And we know that Arizona State has the skills to pay the bills. There's a reason why both of these teams are in the grand finals, and it is not because one team has just some massive skill advantage over the other. Samba out to this bottom side, picks up big boost on its way. A fantastic walk in the park action there for this UTA player. Samba now on the outside. Anthem meeting it there. Easier pop-up, plenty of boost to work with. All 3 members and answering to it, now getting past one of them. Forced defensive rotations against UTA, and this offensive pressure isn't done yet. A hit inside, and that's Arizona State playing this ball perfectly. A little dribble action, and then plays it themselves. Fantastic. Crimson making UTA see red.
I don't know if that double commit from ASU was intentional off that aerial, but it worked in their favor because no one else was in front of them after the elevation came out from the defender. I don't remember who it was, but once they were up in the air, there was nobody left. that double commit was fine at that point. Now we got Anthem trying to corral it here in the corner away from Samba. Samba pushes it past, does get sent across the midfield. Adverse will elevate. It's going to drop down off the ceiling. Nava will pick it up from there off the back wall. Another follow-up shot from Adverse gets turned away by Anthem.
It was a perfect line-up defense right across the middle. They realize that UTA members are not splayed out horizontally across this. They are similarly vertically lined up right here, and they do the same exact thing on defense with plenty of spacing in between them. One of the first demos here coming out, but that goes against this offense, against UTA as they're trying to set this up, and UTA fighting a little bit uncomfortably from a position that they don't find themselves in frequently, and that is being not in the lead. Excuse me, Samba escorting this absolute jet of a shot, flying through the air here, about 2/3 pitch, and nobody can get to this one.
Hyde one aside, 3 minutes left. Situation we've seen both these teams in before. Someone's going to start pulling away with the lead here, because this is not like our game that we saw between GCU and ASU where everyone was playing it safe. Both teams are out for blood. They want to score as much as they can. ASU has to play through this one plus another, and their intent is to make UTA get the bracket reset, play through the full best of 5 here, and go to another one. It's Crimson scores goal number 2 for Arizona State.
I love the demo right before, right? A little explosive precursor to the second goal put in for your Arizona State University. Yet again, find themselves in a deficit as UTA. They are not used to this, and I need to stop saying that out loud, Nerdy. I can think it in my dumb brain if I want to, but I need to stop saying it out loud. UTA striking back every single time.
And I'll be honest, talk about it, I think you cast or curse those last 2 goals. Like, why did you finish the sentence they roll in?
Ay. Adverse up top. Samba down bottom, and another shanking play. UTA finding 3 scores in 45 seconds, 126 kilometers per hour. Not going to top off the 140, but that again came from a pinch, and it's very hard to see that. It was 123 kilometers per hour, the fastest goal on broadcast through the CECC, and that one making a solid contender.
2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. Plenty of time for Arizona State University to find another goal, tie it up, possibly get an extra for a security goal. Well, 2 extra for security goals. It could go either way right now. UTA, though, now up by 2, sitting very comfortably. They could play keep away for 2 minutes and 17 seconds, but that's pretty gosh darn hard to do with how aggressive ASU has been lately. It's just the defense, it's solid, it's there, but when you got someone like Adverse going in for that goal, it's very difficult to stop.
The adverse effect indeed. 2 minutes. I'll say if UTA switched to like a full-on defense in a burn clock situation, that would be one of the best things possible for ASU. They have a high-powered offense, and if they're allowed shots multiple times, they'll be able to get rotations in there to get multiple shots, and that's just almost guaranteed points.
Ooh.
A lot has been poured into offense right here for ASU, but UTA is not going into the defense by any means. A clean takeaway here, tying it up, or not tying it up, passing it down to Samba to put this score difference at 3.
Just under 2 minutes left on this clock in Game 2 of a best-of-5 series. Still time for ASU to tie this game up, though they need to not let this score gap get any larger. Crimson elevating. Nava, though, was just in front of them, gets to touch the center to the other side of the field. Anthem corralling it off the wall, centers up for Kali. Adverse gets taken out by Anthem, but Samba's pushing forward, bringing this ball into the corner. Crimson's going in for the challenge. Touch from Nava to center it up. Finally, Crimson gets possession, playing it off the wall with Nava retreating back towards that back post.
Back it up the air right now. Nava trying to get to this one. Not going to happen easily. Centered up across the middle. Crimson with a nice takeaway right here. No other members are there to follow this one up. I think the big difference here is that UTA, Samba, Adverse, Nava, all very, very used to just this incredibly fast-paced motion. ASU, obviously communications being fast, but I just think that it's the difference is the physical ability to get there and make these plays while also maintaining good angles when the shots come on, whether those are redirects or honest shots offensively on goal.
I think you're right, and follow-up is so important in a game like this where just not every angle works out on the first touch, but that second touch can be so important. 45 seconds left on the clock. That's 15 seconds per goal if ASU wants to tie this up. However, that might become an even larger score gap. Thankfully, it will not. Now we've got Anthem pushing forward. Adverse gets in his face, though, pushing the ball against the wall. Collie tries to bounce it to center it up for a teammate. Samba will elevate and push it completely across the field.
3 minutes to go here. I'm going to say this very, very quickly, but basically, guys, I'm sorry, I was wrong. There's no bracket reset, and UTA is up right now. So if UTA takes this in the next 15 seconds, and that's going to be it. Sorry for the anticlimactic culmination here, guys. That's my fault. I assumed the bracket reset. 9 seconds is not enough time to bring this one back. Again, sorry for the downturn in motivation and whatnot, but I am now being corrected here by production. So once again, sorry, guys. Once again, in case you didn't catch that, because I said it very, very, very quickly, I assume that this was a double elimination bracket and that a bracket reset was possible in this. That is not the case. Given that UTA was coming from the top part, from the winner's bracket here, they came in with a point advantage in the best of 5, meaning they started at a 1-0 scoreline. Given that UTA took not 1 game, but 2 games here back-to-back, that means a clean 3-0 sweep for UTA. Once again, my bad. That's on me.
Well, congratulations, UTA and ASU. ASU still gets to walk away with a scholarship, if I am not wrong, because they did finish in our 2nd place seat. And UTA, we possibly will be able to see in Arlington later this year in May. Well, actually, they are now invited there. So hopefully we'll be able to see them in Arlington later this, well, sorry.
Atlanta
Later this
they're
year.
A-names. Yeah, exactly. We are going to be going forth little interview action. Member of UTA. What we got Adverse, we got Nava. Yeah, we got Nava. Now we need Samba. We'll try and get this player on in here to give us a peek inside the mind of a UTA player coming on hot off of a win. Back with you guys in just a minute. And we are back. We are wrong stream there. I opened up the Falcon stream for a second there. I'm sorry, guys. Bringing in a post-game interview, a little bit mixed up here. I'm sorry. Samba Wi-Fi, are you with us? Please, dear God, tell me.
Yeah. We're
Gotcha. Nerdy, please take this opportunity from my hands.
Okay, I will take the wheel for just a little bit. All right, Wi-Fi, my question goes to you. Going into this tournament, did you expect anything less from your team, honestly?
No, I think my team is a really good team. I think that we're insane and we dominate CRL. So I think that going in this tournament that we had high standards and we really wanted to make it to Atlanta.
All right. Well, from a coach's perspective, I don't know if you saw the post-game interview that we had with Arizona prior to the championship match, but they said that they had a ace in the hole going into this game to play against you guys. I struggled to pinpoint what that strategy they were kind of alluding to without sharing could have been. Did you see anything like that from your perspective in that game?
Do you mean like the other team have an advantage versus us?
No, like a strategy they were trying to use against you guys. Did you see any clear pattern of what they were trying to do?
No, to be honest. I couldn't really pinpoint anything. I think that we were playing pretty good. I still don't think that we brought like our best like A game. We definitely could play better than that, but we still played good.
All right. Well, Tugboat, I will let you take over from here.
I will attempt this. All right. So Samba here. Similar question, but from the player's perspective. Do you really feel like this was a standard UTA performance? Was there anything different that you guys did here across the 2 games against Arizona State University?
Yeah, I think it's like typical, not dropping any games, and no, we didn't really do anything different. We just came out and played our game. We knew we know our ability and what we can do. And the first game was close, but the second game we kind of woke up a little bit. They came off a series, straight off a series, so they're a little bit more warm than us. But yeah, I mean, just the second game, showed what we can really do.
Gotcha. And to culminate the kind of narrative that we've been building so far, of course, we only have winners in the interview box here, Samba. Now we've gotten your 2 teammates so far, and we've gotten a little bit of an insight in how the team dynamics works, right? With Adverse being a little bit, verbally offensive, I guess we could say, to kind of start off some of these, to kind of get you guys in that mindset. I want to ask you about your mental preparations here, and maybe how it differs from your teammates.
Yeah, my mental's pretty good. I usually just listen to some music and let them fight. Average likes to start a lot of fights. Unfortunately, it's something we're trying to work on. But hopefully it's fixed for land because I don't want to see anything go down. When we're on land.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get that fixed. But yeah, usually I'm in my own zone, not listening to them. I usually deafen, listen to some music. That's about it. Yeah.
There you go. Like full on not listen there. I can imagine in some sort of alternate universe, there's like the Larry, Curly, and Moe of the UTA, like the Samba Noverse and Adverse, and they're bopping each other on the head and going back and forth and whatnot. And at the end of the day, it results in a much better product. But hey, this is Rocket League and not hacky 30s and 40s black and white comedy, right?
Yeah. We keep the maybe keep the demos on the field. That's how we let out our anger.
There it is. There it is. Keeping it thematical here. Rocket League all the way through for Samba. Congratulations to Samba, your two teammates, and to Wi-Fi, the coach of UTA. A clean sweep all the way through here. And correct me if I'm wrong. Yes, you guys did not drop a game the entire the CECC tournament. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Nicely done. Nicely done. As clean as it gets here for the University of Texas, Arlington. Thank you guys for coming on in and giving us a minute of your time after the game. Before we get you on out, I want to ask if you have any shout outs here.
Shout out to the school. Shout out to you guys for running the tournament. We had a great time. Super excited for the future. And shout out to our fans. I think that's it for me.
There you go. Wi-Fi?
Yeah, same thing. Like, shout out to the team, shout out to the fans, the family, everyone. Thank you guys, production, everyone that hosted the tournament.
There you go. Thanks you guys as well, and a fantastic show. When you guys put on performances like that, makes our jobs as casters a little bit easier. We really do appreciate that. Congratulations once again on your clean sweep through the CECC tournament. First place, getting themselves some scholarship money and an invitation on there into Atlanta for some live Rocket League action. Second place, that's Arizona State, still taking home themselves some solid scholarship money, so not going home empty-handed. Grand Canyon University, you did fantastic, but a solid clap on the back for you guys. Unfortunately, no formal prizing unless I am massively incorrect about this as well. Nerdy Bird and FBI Tugboat here. We're going to be signing off for right now. A short break, and we'll be back with Polly, our host, unless Nerdy Bird has got something else for you, dear folk, and before we go.
Actually, we are not going to take a break. We are going to throw it directly to Polly, who is going to wrap up this portion of the stream before we jump into the remainder of what's left with Smash and possibly some Valorant. Polly, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Nerdy Bird and Tugboat, as we complete our day 2 of one half of the stream here on Esports U. That was some amazing action from all the colleges involved across both Overwatch and Rocket League. As we take a look once again, we have Rocket League. The winners are going to be UT Arlington with second place, which is nothing to scoff at, but Arizona State will take that there. As UT Arlington, they'll be joined by us May 8th, 6th to 8th, in the Gateway Arena down in Atlanta, Georgia, where we will have our grand final event for Overwatch. As we take a look over there, it was the number 3 seed Rebel Gaming UNLV, which defeated University of North Texas in the grand finals. So that was some amazing gameplay. UNLV also will join us in Atlanta May 6th to 8th for our grand final event. On behalf of everybody at CSMG, the Collegiate Sports Management Group, and here at Esports U, we want to wish you all a great evening, an amazing weekend, and thank you so much to all the competitors and schools, universities that were a part of this event to make it such a wonderful event. That's going to do it here for the Esports U stream from the Collegiate Esports Commissioner's Cup Southwest Invitational. My name is Paulie Hype, and we'll see you next time. We still have twitch.tv/esportsu2 to finish Valorant and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We'll see you next time right here from everybody at Esports U.